we're live.
Sweet.
Isn't that crazy? So we
Hey,
can
we're
watch.
live, pal.
We're gonna watch the GOAT game. The two shortest people of recent history. I don't even know what year these guys were, but they're both in the 90s. But yeah, Muggsy Bogues versus Spud Webb. Who's gonna win? I don't know. I don't think Muggsy's gonna drop any points. That's my
I mean,
take.
he's going to try and score over like Tree Rollins, so I don't think so either.
Yeah.
And then Spud's going to try and score against like Alonzo and Larry Johnson. So.
Oh my god. Absolute atrociousness right there.
Be cool to see Dominique drop some points.
I mean, yeah. That's for sure. So, I guess jump right into the most fun topic of them all. Is I was actually requested by a few people to cover this one first. You know, the Kevin Durant trade. So, the Kevin Durant trade consists of the Suns receiving Kevin Durant and T.J. Warren, and Brooklyn receiving Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-rounders, and a 2028 pick swap.
Straight off the bat, I just don't like it.
I don't either. And I mean, the main reason I don't like it is they killed their entire, like, any rotation they had is gone.
The reason I don't like it is because, I mean, if you look at it from a Brooklyn perspective, they could have got that same deal except DeAndre Ayton instead of Jay Crowder if they'd done it in the off-season. I just don't understand Brooklyn's whole play here, like waiting until the trade deadline to drop Kyrie and KD. And, like, I mean, Kyrie requested a trade, but, like, they were actually going pretty well this year. Like, ever since Jacques Vaughn's taken over as head coach, they've been going on a tear, and yeah, KD's been injured. Like, they can't help that. So I just don't understand the timing of it.
Well, but I mean, the timing is Kyrie demanded a trade, and now they have nobody. That's your timing.
But still, like, there was you didn't have to get rid of Durant. I mean, you could have kept going. Like, you're telling me KD plus all the rest of them, like, couldn't have still put up a fight? I just think it's weird just to dump your whole season when you're in a good position. But that's just me. I mean, Phoenix needed to do something because this team was already, like, out of the title picture with the way they were going. So, I mean, kudos to Phoenix and their new ownership showing that they are willing to spend the money. I think the Kevin Durant trade put them $35 million over the luxury tax threshold when it happened. So it's showing that he's prepared to spend money on Mike Saba. So
that's very true. And I mean, solid 4 picks out of that too. But I mean, you know, this Kevin Durant trade package, it kind of makes me like appreciate Danny Ainge as a Jazz fan a little more, because we pretty much got the same equivalent back for Rudy Gobert. No, I mean, no disrespect towards, Rudy Gobert, but, like, bro, KD is the same value as Rudy Gobert in 2023?
I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about other trades, but, like, yeah, Danny Ainge hit a home run with that one, but it meant he softened his stance on the other trades that Utah made, I think. But
yeah, I don't want to talk about that one. That was ass.
I don't know. If you look at it objectively, KD's been having a lot more injury problems recently. Like, he's still in incredible form. He's still in, like, the back end of his prime. So, like, but, the injuries are a thing. Gobert has never really had injury history. And Gobert, like, defensively is, like, I mean, if you just look at stats and stuff like that. Like Gobert is like the KD on the defensive end. So, I mean, you can see him getting relatively similar trade packages, especially Gobert's a little bit younger than KD as well. Like, I think KD's 34, 35.
But I mean, as a Jazz fan, I know that you have to construct a team around Gobert. Otherwise, Gobert is going to be a huge liability on the other end. Unlike Kevin Durant, who could fit in about any system, he's not a liability on offense or really defense. That's arguable
I don't
for
know.
some people, but
Just the way I look at it is like, just looking at it, say if you were to make these trades in 2K, like, pretty sure the bots would ask you to trade just as much for KD as they would for Gobert. That's just the way I'm looking at it. So, you don't factor in all those other intangibles.
I mean,
But yeah,
for me, it's I think Brooklyn absolutely, stole that one. I think Phoenix overpaid. I mean, not overpaid. Wait, what? Bruh. Yeah, so I think, Phoenix did not need that trade. I think they were on a good route. They were like starting to heat up. They were like fourth seeded. Devin Booker just came back. I mean, it didn't necessarily make sense to do it, but I mean, have two injury prone Chris Paul and KD. I mean, that's not that bad, I guess.
it just means that like there's no room for error now. Like, they've got to maximize what they can get out of Chris Paul while he's still around and KD while he's still in his prime. Like, otherwise you've basically just mortgaged your future for nothing. It's the way I look at it is sort of like the Anthony Davis trade. Like, but say if Anthony Davis was Kevin Durant's age, it's like you have to win now. Otherwise, why the hell have you done this?
I mean,
so it puts a lot of pressure on a core that's not really played together, and it goes back to your point you made earlier with them losing all their depth off the bench. Like, yeah, your starting five is important, and like they're going to get the majority of your minutes. They're going to put up the majority of your points. But when it comes to playoff time, like, you do need to have a set rotation. Like, you need a good 8 or 9 men. Like, you have a look at Boston last year. Like, that's part of the reason why they lost in the finals to Golden State. And part of the reason why Golden State this year hasn't been going that well is the depth. Like, that's why Boston went for Malcolm Brogdon. They needed depth behind Jaylen Brown, behind Derek White.
And I mean,
so it is important. And now what's going to happen is, Chris Paul being injury prone, say he tweaks his hamstring in the first round of the playoffs and he won't be back until if they make the finals. What, you're giving Cameron Payne 30 minutes a game? Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, the Bulls already tried that.
TJ Warren goes down. What, you're playing Torrey Craig 30 minutes a game? Like,
Torrey Craig's the
They've got no one. Hey, I don't mind Torrey Craig, like, coming off the bench but playing 30-plus minutes, like, in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't trust that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would either.
So, yeah, their depth chart is really bad at the moment, Phoenix. So, like, obviously there's the buyout market, so they'll probably try and grab a couple of people there. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. The West has definitely gone now from being like Denver's going to win it and who's making up the rest. So now there's like 3 or 4 teams you could say like are coming out of the West, maybe even 5.
I'm still going Denver strong on making the finals. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're making it. Even with this Phoenix trade, yeah, it was very important, but I mean, I'm expecting them to be a good regular season team, and like Phoenix in recent history, make the conference finals and lose. I don't care if you got Kevin Durant or LeBron James or Michael Jordan. It's still going to be that way.
The other thing is they gave up Mikal Bridges in this trade, and like, you can think what you want about Mikal Bridges, but at the moment, like, the league is centered around wings. If you've got good wings, you typically win. And Mikal Bridges is the best wing defender in the league, in my opinion. And in a lot of other people's opinions, maybe you could count Giannis in there, but he's not really a lockdown. He's more of a helper on defense. So they lose that, and they're not really replacing him with anyone. Like if you look at their starting lineup, it's going to be potentially Ayton, Durant, Warren, Booker, and CP3. Like, which one of those players is a defender?
None of them.
So
That
like you come
defense is
up
gonna be
against
fun.
they come up against Luka and Kyrie. Like Kyrie is going to torch CP3, and you've got no one that can stop him. And then you're letting Luka just run around, do what he wants willy nilly. Like Kevin Durant can play decent defense, but that's not why you got him. Like,
Yeah.
so it's going to be interesting to see how this team gels. But I guess it is a scoring league, so just if they put up 120, this team's just going to have to put up 130. So.
And I mean, yeah, that's that. I'm assuming that has to be their plan. And I mean, I was kind of shocked that Mikal Bridges was what they had to give up. I thought it was gonna be Bridges and Aiton or something around that line. I was not expecting Jay Crowder to pull in enough value.
I think it was Cam Johnson where the value comes. He's shown a lot of growth before he got injured this year. He's still young, so he's still on a good contract. Even though I think he's due for a extension, so that'll be interesting.
I mean, it's not like they don't
but
have
yeah,
the
that's
money
it.
anymore.
That goes back to like what I was saying before. Like if Brooklyn had done this deal before the season started, they would have got Bridges and Ayton. So that's why I don't understand the timing of it.
And I mean, if they would have, made those moves in the offseason, they could have gotten a better pick. I mean, if they lost like hypothetically every game, they're still not even going to be like close to where the first pick's going to be. They're going to be getting like a 6th, 7th, 8th pick in the draft. And I mean, yes, respect to those guys, but I mean, like, how like important is that really going to be? And I mean, they're like way too late on absolutely tanking it. Because I mean, they're the 5th seed now. They're probably still going to win games. I wouldn't be surprised if they at least made the play-in this year, just based off their record right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think they'll probably just plummet down the standings, if I'm being honest. I mean, Ben Simmons is your best player now.
Like, don't disrespect
I think that just
Cam
says it all.
Thomas. That's his team now.
Cam Thomas is just another Jalen Green. Empty stats.
40 points ever since Kyrie's left is. I mean, you have to give it to him.
Yeah, well, Jalen Green put up 40 the other night against the Kings, and they still lost. So, empty stats, brother.
340s is impressive. You have to at least admit that.
Yeah, I can do that on 2K.
With Cam Thomas?
No, man, I'm waving that guy as soon as I take ownership.
You're waving Cam Thomas. That's crazy.
Yeah, get out of here. Trade him for 1 second-round pick in 2029.
That's crazy.
Then trade that pick for like Bismack Biyombo or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't like him. I don't like players that score, and that's the only thing they can do.
I mean, you have to at least give Brooklyn some credit, too, on the picks they just picked up, too. I mean, they got 2029 Mavericks, 4 unprotected first-round picks, a 2028 pick swap, which, I mean, I'm assuming they got the swap best in that deal. And then the other part is, what is it? They also got 5 second-round picks for Jay Crowder. They picked up a lot of picks on short notice, which is pretty good. But, I mean, they have another problem. People haven't really realized this yet, but they don't own, like, any of their own picks. They could tank and be terrible. Those picks are going to the Rockets.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, they got all these picks for these players, but, like, really they're just making up for all the picks and stuff that they traded away to assemble this team that they've just blown up. Like, really, it's just like it's basically like the Nets have done nothing for 3 years, like, or however long Durant and Kyrie were there. That's basically the way I look at it. Is they might as well have not done anything, and they've lost Jared Allen and Karis LeVert.
And probably a few other people we don't
Yeah,
know
a
off
few
the top
other
of our
players
heads.
in there, like D'Lo and Spencer Dinwiddie, even though they got him back now.
They were trying to ship him out too.
Because, yeah, they basically got back all the picks that they traded away to get Harden. That's the
Except
way
they're
I've been
not
looking at
theirs,
it.
and those picks are Luka Doncic and, I mean, aging Suns, but I doubt they're going to be garbage by, 2029. You know what, they might be, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, no, I doubt it. I mean, Luke is probably still going to be there in 2029.
2029, yeah, the Mavericks are probably still going to be very good, but I mean, I'm talking more like around the Suns and where we value them by 2029.
Yeah, they'll probably be ass in a couple of years, to be honest.
I could see them going downhill in 3 years, but I mean, they have Kevin Durant now, so I mean, as long as he doesn't age so harsh, he might be good.
Yeah, he might pull a LeBron and be putting up empty numbers in his 20th season.
Definitely. So, I mean, that's obviously that. I think we should probably move on to our next point here. And I mean, this would be better if we had Tank here, but, LeBron is now, up there. He is past Kareem in scoring, which, I mean, pretty impressive, but I mean, people are starting to say, he's the GOAT. But I mean, yeah, he's top 7 in every category. But have you ever watched a Lakers game? I mean, there is a good chunk of garbage time. And I mean, I even did the research on this too. I believe it is marked down that LeBron has like 8,000 of his career points or more in garbage time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, it's just numbers. It's all numbers to me. I mean, you've heard me say this on the pod like a few times now. Like, I don't really give a shit about your stats at the end of the day. Like, so LeBron broke the record against OKC. You just lost the game. So that's all I care about. Put up 38 meaningless points that didn't actually equate to your team winning. So good on you, GOAT, man, even though you're not. But, you go down in the history books or whatever. But, yeah, I couldn't care less, to be honest.
And I mean,
To me, he won't be the GOAT, so they can keep saying what they want.
I don't think he's the GOAT because I mean, thankfully since I've gotten League Pass, I've had so many opportunities to watch all of these teams that I'd never really watched before. And I mean, LeBron, I mean, he just puts up empty numbers that don't really equivalate to that much. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, how can you debate that he's the GOAT if you guys all are saying, LeBron's the GOAT? Have you watched the Lakers? Just watch them.
That's the thing. Like, if you want to get into a GOAT debate, like, how can you be the greatest of all time if you've lost more final series than you've won?
Well,
Like, I mean, that's one of the things that Jordan always holds. 6 finals, 6 rings. I'm pretty sure 6 finals MVPs as well. Like,
I don't think
I mean,
Jordan's the GOAT either, personally.
yeah, I don't know.
I think Braun's better than Jordan. I just
No,
want to put that
I
out there.
wouldn't say that.
I'm putting that out there. I think Braun is better than Jordan, but I don't think Braun's the GOAT.
I mean, I've got Kareem. Kareem is my GOAT, so.
You know what? I've been looking at things. I've been watching my Kareem highlights because I mean, you've said it a few times, and I honestly agree with you. I think that I mean, yeah, he just lost his scoring title, but those points were more meaningful than LeBron's.
The other thing is, like, are we talking like just the NBA GOAT, or if we're talking basketball GOAT? Like, Kareem won 4 straight NCAA titles.
Exactly. That was the other point I was
They
going to
had
bring up
they
too.
had to change the rules. Like that's why he invented the skyhook, was because they banned dunking, so he had to find another way to score, and it was all because of him. Like, I think it's sort of like the generational thing. Like, if you don't go back and watch Kareem, you just yeah, he's this big dude that could shoot skyhooks. If you actually go back and watch what he did and how much of an impactful player on both ends of the floor he was, is I just can't see how you can choose anyone else over him.
It's hard to, and I mean, thankfully, YouTube's a thing to where you could pull up about anything from, however long. I mean, if you're on that, Braun or, Jordan's the GOAT thing, look at Kareem. I mean, 4 straight NCAA titles. That was like the normal thing then. I mean, LeBron, no NCAA titles, but that's a different story. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like that. It's hard to debate against that. He was good in college. I mean, he won a solid amount too in the NBA as well. I mean, he was a good winner. His stats were meaningful.
Yeah.
Panthers just mentioned in chat Wilt, the other GOAT of stat padding.
Yeah, that's Wilt's the one that yeah, he invented like all these records and stuff, pretty much.
The stat
I don't know.
pattern.
Wilt's just a freak on a different level. But it comes back to like what I was saying before. It never equated to winning. So like, meh.
Exactly, and I mean, you have to win in order to be a GOAT. Otherwise, most of those stats aren't gonna equivalent to much other than just stats. And I mean that's a problem with Braun. Also, Josiah Reed says yo, so yo bag. He
Says what?
said yo. Trying to
Oh,
be
oh.
polite here. Skippy, God.
Oh, I thought I was getting freaking insulted here. I was ready
No.
to throw fists.
You about to throw hands with people entering the podcast.
Yep.
Dang. Okay. Y'all know who's the nicer one now.
Me.
Definitely not. You're a bad cop here.
Yeah, that's so. Getting back to the point, like, congrats to LeBron breaking the record. Whatever. Let's see if you can actually make the playoffs this year.
That's the first step, You have to at least make it. Like you should be. I mean, if you were Jordan, they'd be expecting you to be making finals at this point. It's like
I mean, in saying that though, the Lakers did make some good moves at the deadline. I got to give them that. As much as I hate to admit it, Palinka actually finally did something right.
very true, and I mean, it's one of those rare times where we could actually credit him because I mean he's made some very questionable moves since pulling LeBron. I mean, some of those might be LeBron himself, but like, come on.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the Westbrook trade initially was LeBron's. Palinka wanted to trade for Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
So, but they're finally off that
No, and I
contract
mean,
and passed
one
it
of
on to
those-
your team, the Jazz. So enjoy.
I don't think he's gonna last very long.
Nah, no, I think there already talks about waiving him.
Yeah.
And the Clippers and the Bulls, I think, were interested in picking him up. Which, if the Bulls pick him up, like, what the hell are you doing?
They
That's all
already
I've got to
have
say to
5
that.
point guards. I already did the math because, I live in Bulls Town, and it doesn't make any sense So
It's not
why you
even
would
like that
pick him
they've
up?
got not even that they've got 5 point guards already. It's the fact that you've got one of the most inefficient scoring teams in the league that struggles to shoot the three ball, which is like the way the league is. You've got to be able to shoot the three, and you're going to bring in Westbrook. Like you're already struggling to divvy up touches between Levine and DeRozan, and then you're going to add another ball dominant player to that. Like, huh?
I mean, if the Bulls, they like to, run things a little weirdly. And I mean, one of the biggest disappointments of the entire thing was of the trade deadline, you know, was the Bulls not doing anything. Because, you're a team that's the ninth seed. You're questioning, is it time to blow it up or is it time to, keep it going, add somebody on? They didn't do either. They decided they are happy with the ninth seed.
Well, the thing with that is that they're stuck. I mean, if the Bulls say if they wanted to tank and blow it all up, and they traded away Levine and DeRozan and Vucevic or whatever, and they tried to tank, they still owe their first round draft pick for the upcoming draft to the Magic unless it falls in the top four, which they've already got enough wins on the board that that's probably not going to happen. So the tanking's not an option for them. And also, they don't have any draft capital or desirable young players to go out there and get anybody. So they couldn't try and buy. So the Bulls, unfortunately, are just stuck in basketball purgatory. But they can't really do anything at the moment.
I mean,
It all just comes down to if next season, if they want to continue with it, and if Lonzo comes back healthy. That's basically what they've put all their eggs in.
I mean, yeah, obviously, that's a thing that, they have to, worry about. But I mean, like, it's still like, why? Like, y'all should have done something, at least tried. I mean, they were in the last 20 minutes, they were talking to the Knicks about, trading Zach LaVine away. And I mean, I know there was rumors regarding Alex Caruso, too. I mean, you could have at least done something, at least something minor. Some small tweak to at least get rid of a point guard, because you have 5 of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they made those calls and there just wasn't a market for it. I mean, you wouldn't if their plans are to like keep this core going for next season, you don't want to lose Caruso, so you're not trading him. So then it comes down to like, what, you're getting rid of Kobe White? Well, nobody wants him.
Nobody.
They're going to trade Patrick. They're going to trade Patrick Williams.
He's
Nobody
not a point
wants
guard.
him.
He's not a point guard.
No, I'm just mentioning names that they could potentially trade. That aren't part of like their core going forward. Like, there's nobody there. What, they're going to trade Andre Drummond? Like,
I think someone would have took Andre, personally speaking.
yeah, probably Detroit, because they just want every center at the moment.
They do.
I do not understand.
You know what? We'll cover
why
James Wiseman in a bit, but like, damn.
It's just stupidity. We're going to keep Bogdanovich, but we're also going to have 4 centers that can't shoot threes.
They're still living in the 80s. They still have Isaiah Thomas on their team for all they know.
They're the bad boys, as in they're bad. They make bad decisions.
They're the kids that smoke in the bathroom at school.
That was me. Oh, yeah.
We didn't have to reveal that one, You just recalled yourself a Pistons fan.
Yeah, maybe I am. He did what in his cup?
Anyways, I think now's our time, move on, because the Bulls suck, unfortunately. Sorry, Bulls fans.
Oh, yeah. The one Chicago fan out there listening is crying himself to sleep right now. But I'm sorry. The truth hurts, buddy.
So, I think the best thing to do is move on to our next biggest trade, the 3-team trade regarding the Lakers, Timberwolves, and the Jazz. Lakers obviously a big topic because they did a lot at this trade deadline. They have a whole new rotation, like completely different. It's exciting to look at. I mean, they got rid of Pat Bev, Russell Westbrook, and Kendrick Nunn. They got rid of all three. None of them are there. And now they have new
Got rid of
point guards.
So what was the machinations of that trade?
So
Jazz
I can tell
got
you. So
Westbrook. Yeah.
Lakers, they got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. The Timberwolves received Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and 3 second-round picks for 2024, 5, and 6. And Utah Jazz received Russell Westbrook, Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, and a 2027 first-round pick.
And also, I think that pick's top 4 protected, or it might even be lottery protected. Either one of those two. And if it doesn't convey, it changes to a second-round pick. So, I think you and I were talking about it yesterday when it happened. You being a Jazz fan, obviously, I wanted to needle you a bit about it. We give props to Danny Ainge for the Donovan Mitchell trade, the Gobert trade. And now if you're going to give him his credit, you got to rip into him a little bit for this one. Like, what the hell were you thinking? The way I look at this trade is the Wolves and the Jazz have gone, hey, yeah, we're going to help the Lakers. That's literally the only way I can view this trade. Like, I don't understand how the Lakers literally gave up Westbrook, Toscano Anderson, and Jones plus 1 pick that's heavily protected and got back 3 players that are actually useful. Like, if you'd put down the names that the Lakers gave away, the stuff the Lakers gave away, I'd be like, oh, yeah, you're getting Bismack Biyombo in a second rounder.
I'm
they gave up
genuinely
nothing.
confused about it, too. I mean, I've respected Ainge, greatly. That man has done a lot in the league, and he has made some great teams. As in great teams, I mean like 2, but, this was a
But
head
even
scratcher.
that Boston,
I don't know what he was doing.
Together took years to do.
I think this dude was on like Twitter for like 30 minutes, looked at Lakers fans, and it was like, okay, we need to help these guys out. Like, I don't know what we're already buying out Westbrook as far as I'm concerned. We're buying him out. So we just gave up Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt for a first-round pick and $44 million in cap space.
Yeah. As I said, that pick, if it doesn't convey, instantly becomes a second rounder. It's not like you take it into the next year and it's slightly less protected. Like, that's it. So if in 2027 the Lakers are half decent, then you've just wasted everything. Like, I understand that, like, Conley and Beasley and all them weren't probably useful to the Jazz, but I don't get it. Yeah, as I said, the way I look at it is Ainge felt guilty for rorting the Wolves with Gobert and just went, we'll help you out.
I mean, yeah. That's about it. And, I mean, it didn't make sense. I mean, maybe Ainge has, like, a master plan he's cooking up or something. Because, I mean, yeah, we have $60 million in cap space. But name one time someone signed to the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
I could not tell you one time someone signed to Utah.
That's small market team problems. Like, you're not going to sign the marquee free agents. So you need to be trading for your cap space and getting people on, restricted free agents that are just about to come out of contract. Like for the Jazz, like someone like a Rui Hachimura just comes to mind from the Lakers. It's like, he's young, he's not that great, but you can still punt on the upside, and you've got him under team control, so he can't just walk. They're the type of players that the Jazz should have been targeting. That's why I don't understand why they let Vanderbilt go.
Or Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
But they've had a full season now to look at Alexander Walker. So obviously, like, there's something that they didn't see in him. Like, they've seen enough of him and just gone, nah. But like with the Vanderbilt, like obviously with the breakout of Walker Kessler, he's become a little bit redundant. But like, he's still young. He's only owed like $3 million for next season, and I don't even know if that's all guaranteed. And you basically just gave him away.
Yeah. And
The whole Conley thing, like, you want to do right by Mike. Like, you want him to contend. He's older.
I mean, it's not even like this Utah Jazz team we already had wasn't going somewhere. We were like the ninth or eighth team. I mean, West was close, you know. We were there. We were probably going to be playing or play off at least. And I mean, we were going to contend. I mean, not title-wise, but I mean, you know, we were in the playoffs. So, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to, get a nice pick, but we're too late. We're like a solid 3 months late to pick up a pick now.
That's the thing. I don't think, like, this will really affect the team that much. Like, I think you guys, like, you've really just been riding the coattails of marketing all season anyway. You still got Clarkson when Sexton comes back. Like, Walker Kessler, he's kept the Linux. So really, you just lost Beasley out of players that were like contributing a decent amount to the team. But yeah, I don't really get it. Like, usually when you do these type of moves, like taking on Westbrook and then to waive him, you want an unprotected first, like a good draft pick, or you want like a good young prospect coming back, and the Jazz just didn't get either of them.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope Ainge, knows what he's doing. I hope that works. Maybe he has, like, some guy he's, like, trying to tamper with or something. I'm not sure. Just, Ainge, please know what you're doing. Please make sure y'all are, like, got it up there in the front office. Because, I want to see this Jazz team, try and run back at that first seed spot again.
But on the other teams that are part of that trade, I think it's a great deal for Minnesota getting Conley. I seen a stat the other day that Conley is like more than double the most assists to Gobert on the time with the Jazz. Like, obviously he's the point guard and stuff, but they have a chemistry. And Conley, showed with Donovan that he can play off ball, and he's happy to do that. Like, his 3-point percentage isn't the greatest. I think he's only shooting like 36% this year, but that's good enough to play. Let Edwards control most of the play, run the ball through him, and then, can give it to Conley
Conley's
to run some plays, but he doesn't need to. Yeah, but he can play off ball as well. Like, D'Lo wasn't doing that, or was struggling to do that, which is why I don't really get the fit with D'Lo in LA, but I guess anything's better than what they had. Even though I think Schroeder, I'm not sure if Schroeder's even still there, but I've liked Schroeder.
Sure he's still
I've liked Schroeder with the Lakers this year, since he come back from injury. But yeah, D'Lo will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens in free agency, because Russell's a free agent at the end of the season. But Beasley will be good for him. Even though he's not quite on a tear like he was at the start of the season, he's still knocking threes down at a decent clip.
At the beginning of this season, I thought Malik Beasley was going to be more like Lauri Markkanen was. This dude was just tearing it up from three.
Well, early season, I had Malik Beasley as a 6 Man of the Year candidate, the way he was playing. But yeah, he's definitely cooled down from that. But yeah, he's still a good player. I mean, you look at all these LeBron teams, you just have LeBron and a bunch of people that can shoot threes. That's all you need. So finally, after 5 years of him being there, they've actually started to put a team around him that'll work. And Vanderbilt will be a high energy guy off the bench, probably backup center, behind Mo Bamba, who they traded for as well.
I think that's. I mean, they did lose Tomas Bryant, which I mean, he was doing all right there, but I mean, he was mad that he was behind AD. Not much you could do. You're not that good, buddy.
But that's the
But
thing, though. You couldn't play Bryant and AD together. It just doesn't work.
nope.
Whereas now they've moved Bumba out. Um, Vanderbilt can play the 4 or the 5. High energy guy. AD's been shooting his threes again this year. He's still not the greatest 3-point shooter,
That's for
but
sure.
decent enough that you could run Vanderbilt and Davis at the same time.
It's more like Vanderbilt's been working on his threes because I mean in Minnesota he wasn't even like a 3-point shooter at all, but on the Jazz, he's picked it up. I mean, he's not
Yeah, I
like the
think he's
best shooter.
shooting around like 31%, something like that, which
Yeah,
is reasonable.
he was. I think it was either. I want to say it was either like he didn't take any in Minnesota, or if it was like really not a good percentage. All I know is that he's definitely improved from the three. And I mean,
I think he's going to be a good pickup. Like he's probably only going to play 10 to 20 minutes a game, like in between that range, somewhere in the teens, and he'll just give you energy. He's a really good rebounder. He's not. I wouldn't say he's a rim protector, but he disrupts people going to the basket. So yeah, I think he'll fit well with the Lakers. But as I mentioned before, they picked up Bumba. He'll probably be their starting center now. And I think that's actually a sort of formidable team. Like, you're not scoring at the rim very easily if you've got AD and Bumba there.
that's very true. And I mean, Bamba, I think this year he's averaging I think around 2 blocks, but I mean, nothing really on the offensive end. But he's a solid defender. I think he's gonna be good off the bench.
Well, that's
And
the thing. I don't think he'll come off the bench. I think he'll start.
I don't see it. I mean, you're really relying on Anthony Davis's 3-point shooting if you're putting Bamba in the starting five. Because I mean, Bamba,
No,
yeah, he
Bumba
shoots threes, but he's not that. He's
he
not. He's
shoots
not really.
threes.
He's not that good this year though.
Yeah, limited run. Like, I think he's only averaging like 12 minutes with the Magic. Like, they didn't need him at all. So we'll see. Like, if he gets a bigger role, a bit of trust, like, I think they'll try it. At least they'll try it for a little bit.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
at least
it's
a little bit,
it's the thing we hear year after year after year is AD does not want to play center, so you can't start Vanderbilt and Davis. That won't work. So it's got to be Bumba. I mean, they've traded away every other center that they had now. So
Bamba's gonna be a question mark, and I mean, if it works, good for them. But I don't think it will. I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be Vanderbilt starting. That's just my opinion.
well, even if the Bumba thing doesn't work, the Lakers got a few second rounders back. They still got that 2029 first round pick, and Bumba's on I think his contract for next year is like 10.3 million. So that's a good number to trade with. So if it doesn't work out, they've, just ship him off with the 2029 pick. There's still other teams out there that are interested in Mo. He's one of those players where people just won't give up on him, I think. So.
And a question we had in the chat, completely irrelevant to what we were originally talking about, is what is our top 10 all-time list?
Oh man, that's
That's a hard one.
That's gonna take some thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I could give you top 5, like off the top of my head, but yeah, going in depth into 10, like yeah, I'd have to really think about that.
So, well, I mean, I think we were discussing this a little bit, but I think Kareem won all time, then LeBron, and then Jordan. Just the top 3.
I mean, I'll give you 5. I mean, I could try and go 10. See how we go. I got Kareem. then probably MJ, Magic, then probably LeBron at 4, Timmy Duncan at 5, Larry Bird at 6.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell's not in my top 10.
Damn.
It's just it's so hard to compare. The way I look at it is like the NBA starts in the 70s. Like when you talk about players that played like in the 60s and stuff, like, you know, there's like 8 to 10 teams in the league. You know, there wasn't that much talent to spread around at any one time. It's really hard to judge. Like Bill Russell was a great player, but have you ever watched like any of those games? It's like watching a different sport.
True.
Full of white guys that couldn't jump.
I mean, yeah, I think for me it's Kareem 1, Braun 2, Jordan 3, and then 4 is probably gonna be Kobe.
Ugh,
I
really?
Yeah, I don't think Magic was better than Kobe. Respectfully, I don't think he was. Kobe had a mindset. Everyone knew that. Dude was trying to win. I think Magic is easily 5th after that.
But the thing is, though, like, you look at like Kobe, like, 'cause I grew up with Kobe, right? He needed Shaq to win the first 3, right?
True, very true.
He's not carrying those teams with Rick Fox and fucking.
Well, he
Robert
wasn't even the
Horry.
best player on the team then. It was Shaq.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was Shaq. Shaq leaves. Those Lakers teams do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Kobe's just putting up empty points after empty points, you know. Oh, dropped fucking 81 on Toronto.
It took him a little bit, and he needed help. But I mean, anyone who's
And then
won
when
a
it comes
championship needed help.
Then you look at the 09-10 teams where they won again. They needed Powell. He needed Odom. He needed Artest. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, yeah, I need one teammate to help me out. You needed a whole team to help him out. Like,
I
don't know.
think he was still.
Kobe was great. The way I look at it is just like, Kobe was a great scorer. A great scorer. Like, don't get me wrong. He's an incredible player. But, like, yes, I think he'd struggle to break my top 10 if I really went into it.
Well, the reason why I put him so high is because that mindset. I mean, yeah, he didn't pass the ball, but that was kind of how he, assisted his team. Was, get them in the gym earlier. Make them good. Make them scared to play with them. Anyone who makes someone scared to play with you, I mean, it's hard to argue against that. I mean, that's why Jordan's good. That's why Kobe's good. I definitely don't think Kobe is, above 5 for sure. But, I mean, I think I could probably put him lower too, but I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Like, if I had 15 minutes to prepare that question, I bet you Kobe would probably be down. And
I just look at players like as we said, like when we were discussing it, Shaq was better than Kobe when they played together. So why isn't Shaq higher than Kobe on your list, Mike?
Because he's fat.
You know what I mean? He did it in Orlando. He did it at the Lakers. Then he goes to the Heat and helps Dwayne Wade win a championship. Like a lot of people remember the last few years of Shaq and they remember him on TV and stuff. But this dude was dominant. Like he was the Wilt Chamberlain of his generation. Like there was no stopping him.
Yeah.
I had to live with him playing the Kings, like that big badass bumping bloody Divac off the block, like just dunking on him, dunking. Like you couldn't stop him. And like Tim Duncan, like look at what he did. Like coming in the league, number 1 draft pick, wins a title his second year. Like he had David Robinson with him, but
only so much that David Robinson can do too.
Yeah, David Robinson was like on the back end of his prime. Like, it might not have even been in his prime then. He was like an older guy. Like, he wasn't dropping 72 points anymore.
True.
And he did it like they did it early 2000s, mid 2000s, different teams, different schemes, and the one constant was always Timmy Duncan. Like, Popovich isn't getting the credit that he gets nowadays for being such a good coach if he doesn't have Tim Duncan as a player.
Yeah. Also,
So
do you want
you
to
got
say our
like
game did end? Who do you think won?
Muggsy.
You're actually correct. They won by 1 point.
Oh,
Both teams
yeah.
shot 40% from the field. The Hawks shot 14% from 3. The Hornets only took 2 shots from 3 and made 1. The Hawks won in about every single category. I kid you not.
Except for the scoreboard, which is all that
Except for the
counts.
scoreboard.
I just had a feeling with the big men on the Hornets that just the Hawks wouldn't be able to stop them.
I do want to say Tree Rollins had 5 blocks. Willis had 2. We could probably thank one guy alone for that. Yeah. Muggsy out here, he went 1 for 4, 6 assists, 2 points, and 2 rebounds. The GOAT. Alonzo Mourning pretty much carried him with 9 and 10. So
Zoe was a beast, though. That's the Charlotte teams.
Charlotte is in fact the winner. Who do we want to have next?
Um,
We're just gonna go random. Actually, you know what? We do have people in the chat, so I mean, if y'all want to see a team, which team do you want? Give y'all a little bit to decide, but I think we move on from our GOAT talk and we go back into the trades because I mean, current NBA is current, and
yeah, go talk skin. You're just going down a rabbit hole.
exactly. So we already covered, I think the biggest one that is next at least is this James Wiseman trade. As dumb as it is, I think that was the next big one. I don't understand
it at all.
I do not understand it. It made no... I cannot believe James Wiseman is worth Saddiq Bey in 2023. James Wiseman has played no minutes in the NBA right now because
I guess it just shows to show how much Saddiq Bey's stock has dropped off in a year. Like last year, he would have been an untouchable player. Like Detroit wouldn't have been fielding calls for him. Like I watched the mind you, it's against my Kings last year, but he dropped like 40 points against us. And was not missing a 3-point shot. He was doing it off the dribble, pull up, getting to the rim, just hammering on people. And I was like, this guy could potentially be an all-star, down the line. He was playing that well, and this year is just. I remember the one of the first games I watched this season. I was watching a Detroit game because I had a few of them in fantasy. I was just thinking, what the hell has happened to this guy? And I was like, maybe he's just getting off to a slow start. But this whole year's just been slow for him. And yeah, I still don't get it. I don't think James Wiseman's worth Saddiq Bey. Straight up trade, let alone giving up, 5 second-round picks or something in the end?
Yeah. 5 seconds.
And that's the other thing. The other part of that trade is the Gary Payton II.
That is true. It was a part of that trade, and that's another head scratcher.
I don't get how he's worth. How's he worth 5 second-round draft picks? The dude wasn't getting a game at Portland, who were trash this year. I understand he was an important piece to Golden State last year, but yeah, this whole trade's just a mind fuck. I just don't get any of it.
Yeah, and
besides Atlanta getting Saddiq Bey, the rest of it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, we could really sum it down to this. Saddiq Bey is the same value as Jay Crowder right now. or otherwise known as a G League player, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, yeah, the Pistons came out and released saying James Wiseman they believe has more of an upside than Sadiq Bey, which I completely disagree with. I think Sadiq Bey just needed a new team, and I think he's gonna prove that out in Atlanta. I think he will. I think he's gonna flourish there. He's gonna prove that. Should have kept him.
I mean, yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, from what I've seen from Sadiq Bey for most of his career besides this season, like, he's going to be a good player. Like, might not get to All-Star like I might have thought, but
he's gonna be good.
He's going to be at least a solid role player. He can do more than just stand in the corner and shoot threes, but that's all he's probably going to be asked to do at Atlanta. So, like, that's an easy job.
And, yeah, but
that's the thing that they keep talking about with Wiseman is the potential. Oh, he's 21, and we've never seen a 7-footer that can move like this. But like, he just doesn't get it. There's a reason why the Warriors sent him to the G League. Like, he just doesn't understand the NBA. He doesn't have a spot. And I'm not saying that he's not ever going to figure it out, but like, there's been a lot of players like this through the years. Like, for some reason, James Wiseman is just reminding me of Hasheem Thabeet.
Yeah.
Like, he's tall. He's got, the capabilities of doing something. Like, people see the potential. But it's not going to click. It hasn't clicked yet. And, like, you're punting on him understanding it. And, like, the landing spot doesn't make any sense either. Like, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but, like, Detroit, what are you doing? You've got Jalen Duren. You've invested all this money in Marvin Bagley, the bum. You've got Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart. Like, what the hell do you need Wiseman for?
Exactly. It makes no sense. So
now they've got 4 centers on their roster and none of them can shoot threes. Like,
Stewart can.
Yeah, I guess, but like, he's not shooting threes where he's like, people are going out there and guarding him. It's like Sabonis. Like, you let him jack it up, and if he makes it, he makes it.
Very true. I just randomized the thing, and we got the 15-16 Warriors against the 92-93 Hornets.
Let's go Hornets.
I doubt they win this, but I just accidentally chose the side of Golden State. All right. Yep. That's fine. Yeah.
Of course you did.
All right.
Fanboy.
Now it's on AI. We're good. I'm not them. But anyways, back to it. Pistons, y'all better have figured something out. I don't know why you need 4 centers. Maybe they're just trying to prove that Wiseman has value, and then they're just gonna dish him off somewhere. Because I don't think you can prove Bagley has any value. I think everyone knows that is false.
What a waste of money that was. I don't understand when they gave him a new deal. Like, who are you competing against? I think I say this every pod, but Bagley, you suck.
Yeah. Maybe they saw
nothing
some
personal.
magical. Maybe they see busts, and they just have a magical upside to them. Because now they picked up Bagley and Wiseman, both great 2nd-round pick busts in recent history. It's definitely a question mark, and maybe they know what they're doing, but I don't think so. It's so confusing.
The other thing that doesn't make sense, like with Detroit, is so Cunningham's done for the year. You got rid of Bey, who was a good young player that could have been part of your core. You've got all these centers, but you've kept Bogdanovic, Burks, Joseph, and they've still got Nerlens Noel on their roster. Like, if you're going to trade anybody on your team, why didn't you trade the veterans? Especially Bogdanovic, whose value is at an all-time high. Like, you will not get the same in the off-season or next year or whenever you want to get rid of him if you do for Bogdanovic. Then you will right this very second.
Exactly, and I mean, it's literally known that
He's
Bogdanovich.
33. Like, what are you keeping him for?
I mean, we already know that Bogdanovich is literally having the best year of his career right now. He's 33 years old. He's not going to stay this good forever. In fact, more than likely, this is going to be his last season playing at this high of a level to where he's now almost an all-star caliber player. He wasn't even doing this in like Utah and stuff. It's like now is your time to get rid of him to a contending team. Save him at least. I mean, or at least get rid of Nerlens Noel. Like he's not garbage. He's garbage at offense, but you don't need five centers.
Like, he'll probably get waived, I think, Noel. But with Bogdanovich, like, this year he's shown more than, like, his previous, like, stops, like Utah and wherever else he's been. He's, like, sit in the corner, shoot some threes, maybe pump, fake, and drive every once in a while. This year he's like a full offensive hub. He's shooting threes. He's doing stuff off the dribble. He's playmaking, like, and he's not a bad defender, like, for someone his age and with his mobility issues. Like, he's a decent defender. Like, put him in team defense. Like, he's a good player. Like, the Bucks were chasing after Crowder so hard. I think they should have been chasing Bogdanovich this whole time. But maybe they didn't. Like, you're not accepting 5 second-round picks for Bogdanovich, but like, I don't understand why a team didn't go after it.
It's still the Pistons. They might.
But like, from the Pistons' perspective, like, I don't get it. He's 33. Like, Cade's not coming back next year, and he's suddenly Jesus. Like, Jaden Ivey's still got at least 2 to 3 years before he's a winning player. Like I mean, look at Fox. Like, Fox has only just started to get it like the last couple of years. Like, you've got this speed and athleticism. You need to know when to use it. Like, Ivey's going to be like that. He's going to be a slow burn player. Like, Cade this season before he got injured was playing a lot worse than he was in his rookie season. It's like he's still got a couple of years to sort of get his head around it. So I just don't get what the Pistons are doing at all.
And, maybe they have an idea and we don't. We're the fans or whatever of the league. But, I mean, from what it seems like from an outsider's perspective, it doesn't make sense. Like, why are they picking up so many centers? Why are they keeping, like, a guy at an all-time high value that you could easily pick up more picks from? I mean, why wouldn't you want, like, a few more picks?
And it's not like they're say a Houston Rockets, for example, or Utah is another perfect example. It's not like they've got the cap space where they can just go during the off season and go, oh yeah, Bradley Beal's requested a trade, so we're going to trade our picks and a couple of players and get Bradley Beal in, and all of a sudden we're a contender or we're like a good team. Like, you've locked up your money with Bogdanovich and Bagley and Burks, Joseph. Now Wiseman. Like, Wiseman's a bloody expensive like player on a rookie contract. I think he's like making like $8 million this season.
$8 million, yeah.
And even more next year. Like, you got all these young players that are going to be due for extensions soon. Like, I don't get it. And like, it's not like we're not experts or anything, but we're not looking at this like, oh yeah, on the surface that doesn't make sense. Like, if you dig into it and really look into what Detroit's doing with their roster construction and everything, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those head scratchers. I mean, Detroit, we know, is not necessarily the best managed team of all time. So, I mean, it's something that we are really going to have to look into, and I don't think that, Detroit's going to be good in the next 3 years. They're probably going to continue to pick up people even further away, or like down the line. They might not be, relevant until like 2029. So, I mean...
Yeah, it's just... Detroit just has a history of doing this. I mean, the last decent Detroit team was arguably the Chauncey Billups and the Wallace boys. Like, ever since they blew that team up, they haven't done anything,
Lob
really.
City.
Shit, that didn't work.
I mean, y'all gotta figure something out. That's for sure.
But yeah, a different thing on that trade. I think good place to segue is having a look at what Portland did in this trade period. I mean, they were part of that trade, as we mentioned. They gave up GP2, who they weren't even using, to the Warriors as part of that deal, getting the 5 second rounders. But they also traded away Josh Hart to the Knicks, was one of the deals they did, and they managed to get Matisse Thybulle into their team along with Cam Reddish.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely did some good pickups there, and I mean, they did send Josh Hart to go back with his teammate Jalen Brunson, which I mean,
Yeah.
I think that Knicks team's going to be a lot better off of that trade. I think that was a win-win trade, at least from my perspective. I think I think both sides are going to benefit. I think Cam Reddish, yeah, I think that's Cam Reddish, right? I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
I think he's gonna benefit from having a place to potentially play in. I mean, against and next to a guy like Dame Lillard. I mean, I think he'll have a solid chance. I think if Portland gives him the minutes, he could actually blossom to at least be a okay two-way player.
I'd just like to actually know what the hell happened in New York. I remember when they it's probably unfair for me to talk about this because I've had like a fascination with Cam Reddish since he was picked up by Duke, recruited by Duke to play with RJ and Zion. I honestly thought like before that college season that Cam Reddish was the best player in the country, and even coming out of the draft, I'm like he's going to be the best player from this draft, and it just has not panned out that way. But when Atlanta traded him to New York, the first probably month I'd say that he was in New York, he looked really good.
And then nothing
He's
happened
getting a
since.
lot of minutes. Then he hurt himself. I think in the game against the Kings, he fell real heavy on the floor, knocked himself out. And then you just see nothing since. And for him to fall out of the rotation, like when they've got clear deficiencies at that position, like it just doesn't make any sense to me. But then again, Thibodeau does some weird stuff.
I was about to say we are
Like
talking
Fournier,
Thibodeau here, and I mean that
Fournier
might be
dropped
the
like
reason
24
why.
points.
I would
Like,
have to assume that
say what you want
Thibodeau's the
about
reason.
Evan Fournier, but like he's a good player.
Go ahead.
Like, yeah, I don't get, I don't get it. Thibodeau's just a weirdo when it comes to lineups, but like, you couldn't find like 5 to 10 minutes for Cam Reddish to play. Like, give him something. He's literally just doing nothing the whole year. Like,
He's rotting on the bench.
I want to know. Well, I want to know what happened there to like make him give up on Cam so easily. So hopefully Reddish gets the restart in Portland that he deserves, and they give him a chance. Like, because I mean, as I said before, Portland's going nowhere, so you might as well give him some minutes, see what he can do. I mean, at the very least, like he can be a slasher and a good defender. Like, he might not ever be a superstar or even like a great two-way player, but he's going to give you effort on both ends at the very least. Like, you telling me that's not worth something in the league?
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I guess. But then it sort of confuses me that they also picked up Matisse because Matisse is a similar player.
Very much.
Like,
that was what I was going to go into next.
Is a less offensive than Cam Reddish, but a lot better defender. But they're both similar size. They play the same position. They both needed a refresh, and to be given minutes to see what they can do, see if they'll blossom in the league. So it's sort of weird that they've got both of them. So I'm interested to see how that'll work.
Very true.
And I think the protection also on that because the Josh Hart deal was Hart for Reddish and a first round pick, 2024, I believe, Knicks pick. And if that doesn't convey, it turns into 4 second round picks.
Yeah.
I think that's an overpay for Josh Hart, who is out of contract at the end of the season. Like, Josh Hart's a good player, don't get me wrong. Like, I would have liked the Kings to go after him. But 4 second round picks or a first rounder plus Cam Reddish, like, even though
There's two
Reddish's
more
stock's at
players
an
in that
all-time
trade
low.
too, if you didn't know. They also the
Just a
Knicks
bill.
also gave up Archie Diacono and Svi Mikhailuk.
Oh, they're not even players, they don't count.
I mean, yeah, but still, it's like
I think Svi got on traded to another team as well in one of the other deals.
probably. I mean, it's Svi Mikhailuk.
I think he might have been part of that Detroit deal.
Actually, fun fact here: I have a Svi Mikhailuk signed rookie card in my room. I
I'll
don't
give you
think that's
5
gonna
cents
do
for
much,
it, and still an overpay.
but I mean, it's gonna be. I think that Cam Reddish, give him a chance, he could do something. Obviously, probably not gonna be an all-star player. I mean, if you're gonna be an all-star player, you usually have to be good, like right away, and he has not really had much of a chance to prove that. He's been behind, Hunter, and I don't even know who to blame on the Knicks. The Knicks, I'm gonna blame them.
That's the thing. He wasn't even behind anybody on the Knicks. Like, who are they starting at small forward? Because they're not playing Fournier. They're playing like
RJ.
Quentin Grimes. Oh, yeah,
RJ.
RJ. Yeah, that's true. Forgot about him.
Irrelevant.
But
RJ's not even good.
RJ, Quentin Grimes, like Jericho Sims. Like, Cam Reddish doesn't get the game. Exactly. Just a bunch of randos. Like,
I mean, you can't really blame New York that much because, I mean, yeah, they're doing whatever the hell with that, but I mean, they're not even, like, out of the playoffs at least this year.
yeah, but they're just like a team that's making up the numbers. Like, who expects New York to do anything? Like, when you're in a position like New York, you need to be taking a punt on these younger players and like seeing what they can give you. Give them the best chance. Like, you might as well because it's not like they can pick up any free agents or anything.
Very true. They
Oh,
literally
even though
will not be.
they got Brunson, but that doesn't count because they tampered and his dad works for the team. That doesn't count.
I think, what do I think? I think it's a win-win still. We could see what happens with it. I don't think the Knicks are with this move are gonna be a championship team. I don't even think they're gonna be a conference finals team. I think they're gonna be a nice second round exit. So
Not even. I don't see him getting out of the first round, to be honest.
I could see them getting out of the first round if they verse the right person.
They'll finish like
Fifth,
6th, 7th,
fifth.
somewhere like that.
I
I
think they're
think.
gonna finish fifth.
And like, you're gonna cop like the Bucks, the Celtics, the Heat. Like, yeah, I don't see him beating any of them teams.
I could see them making a run against the Heat.
I couldn't see him winning a game.
I mean, I'm not much of a Heat fan myself. In fact, I usually am known for undershooting what they can do, but I don't see. I could see them going to 7 and the Knicks winning. If they play it out right. If Thibodeau, does Thibodeau stuff and confuses Jimmy Butler a little bit.
Come on, man. That's nonsense. Come on.
It could happen.
Julius Randle's gonna go toe to toe with Bam, yeah.
But I mean, it's mainly the bench that's the main thing I'm thinking of here.
Hey, the Heat have a good bench, man. Just because they're not big names.
Duncan Robinson is what you classify as a good bench.
No, you got Martin, Gabe Vincent, Struce. They waived Dwayne Vincent, so they haven't got him anymore. But
Duncan Robinson.
hey, he might catch a heater. You never know.
I don't believe he will. I think he's a boss.
It's the Knicks. That's typically what happens.
Yeah, you
come up against a team. Oh yeah, we've got Butler and Bam under control, and then Duncan Robinson just goes off for 40.
Damn.
Knicks life. #.
Hashtag don't be a Knicks fan.
Who would you rather be, Knicks or a Kings fan? Oh, shit.
Kings.
We're all cursed.
All right, we're gonna do our next one here. The most important trade of all of them, maybe. We did kind of miss this one, and we didn't have an episode when this trade happened, but the Kyrie Irving trade is what I want to cover next. Kyrie and Markieff Morris was sent to Dallas, and Brooklyn received Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first rounder, and 2 second-round picks, which does include 2029 as well.
Marquise the one that got punked by Jokic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, what a dickhead.
Markieff is like... I mean, I don't think Markieff's even like the halfway focal point of this trade. I don't even think this man's gonna touch the court on Dallas, but that's just me.
I forgot he was still even in the league.
Me too, honestly. I knew that. I think he was technically backing up Nick Claxton at the center. Once KD was gone, when KD was there, I don't think he was playing at all.
I don't think I've seen him on the court at all this season.
I think he's backed up Claxton maybe twice. Maybe.
But yeah, he's not the one we care about.
Kyrie. It's Kyrie. And I mean, Kyrie, I think this is a dumb trade for Dallas. Because I think Kyrie has said that he didn't really want to play for Dallas that much. I think he was more interested in, reuniting with LeBron or... going places that actually have people that are relevant. No offense to Luka, but people.
The
that
way
are
I see it probably
him.
panning out. The way I see it probably panning out. We mentioned before, D'Lo's a free agent. They've cleared up the Westbrook thing. I can easily see Kyrie just end of the season just sign him with the Lakers and go on there.
I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Mavericks
what's going to have to happen is, Mavericks are going to have to do a sign-in trade if they want any value out of it. Because Kyrie is going to leave. Like, I do not have any faith that he's going to stay in Dallas. And, I don't know if you would really want a guy like Kyrie to stay in Dallas.
They want him. You wouldn't trade for him unless you want him. I've heard that they've already put down a 3-year contract on the table for him.
Well, that could be the case, but, is he really going to want to stay? And do you even know if it's going to work? I didn't watch that game at all, but I know that Kyrie didn't play bad. And, he didn't have Luka yet. Once Luka comes back after the All-Star break, is Kyrie going to mesh? Is the question we all need to be asking. And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a scary combo. 2 of the top 10 isolation scorers in the league currently on the same team as each other. I think that could be a really scary combo if it works out. But
you're forgetting the really important part of that.
It's the future that matters here. And I don't think that it was a good future move.
I think you're leaving out the most important part. 2 of the best isolation scorers in the league right now. But there's only one ball.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work at all. I don't understand why they've done this move. I understand why they did it, but it just doesn't make sense. I don't think it moves them any closer to getting out of the West than they were before. Dinwiddie was playing really good this year. Yeah. And he was meshing really well with Luka. Finney-Smith was your only defender on the entire team, and he was good at what he did.
Dwight Powell instead.
No, even then, I wouldn't. Dwight Powell's not playing that many minutes, but he's an important piece to this team.
Dorian Finney-Smith's debatably a more important piece.
Oh yeah, but. What they're going to start running JaVale McGee out there again? He's been garbage. I don't know why they signed him in the first place. That guy's been nothing but a bum his whole career. I don't understand he's still in the league.
Because he's
Has
won.
that decent run with the Warriors, and everyone goes, "Oh, he's a title winner." No, he's not. He's a bum. Okay, he's always been a bum. That's why Shaq made so many millions of videos of him being an idiot because he's a bum.
JaVale McGee.
It's just so frustrating. You see players like that getting massive contracts, and it's like DeMarcus Cousins isn't even in the league. Like, ugh.
Okay, Kings fan.
It's not even being a Kings fan. It's like DeMarcus can shoot the three, he can defend, he can play make. He's a big body. Like, you're telling me no team's gonna give him a minimum bet deal just to back up their center? Like,
He hasn't
and you got
won.
JaVale McGee out getting like $12 million a year, like to do nothing except be a bum. Ugh. It's infuriating, man. You see all these teams that like in the trade deadline, oh, we need a backup center, and everyone's circling around Pirtle, and it's like Boogie does the same thing.
But he's old and injury prone.
I don't care. That's my rant for the day. Oh man, he played good with the Nuggets last year.
He wasn't bad. That's why I'm like actually kind of curious why Boogie isn't in the league. I mean, there's got to be some bigger reason that we don't see. Because I mean, he was pretty solid on the Nuggets, and I don't think what's his name? I don't even know. Who did they
Probably the
replace him with?
reputation.
It was another old guy, the guy from Lob City, DeAndre Jordan or whatever.
Oh
Has he even
yeah,
played?
he's been garbage. Yeah, he does not even fit their system at all.
He doesn't shoot.
And he can't
You have
pass.
Jokic there, like He,
We're going to replace a stretch big that we run our offense through with a dude that can't do anything except dunk, except he's too old to do that.
he's there for layups.
It's literally just a body. So yeah, we got this tall guy. Oh man.
I mean, at that point, just
forgot what we
sign
were even
Taco
talking about.
Fall. At that point, just sign Taco.
He might as well. Oh man. What were we even talking about now? I got so hot. Kyrie.
Yeah. We were talking about Kyrie and then went on a rant about JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee.
But yeah, I don't see it working for Dallas. I don't see it. Like you look at the rest of their team, like it just doesn't fit. Like, unless Maxi Kleber comes back and he's like
Maxi Kleber.
how he was in the playoffs last year, like that's the player they're really missing, I think. But like now that he hasn't got Finney Smith, like who are they stopping? Like I think I said it before with like when we were talking about the Suns, like it's a wings league. You need defenders that are versatile that can go like 1 through 4. They don't have anybody like that now with Kleber out. Like Christian Wood's not playing any defense. He gets blocks, but he's not a good defender. He's almost like Hassan Whiteside in a way.
Literally. That is exactly the first player that came up. He's like Hassan Whiteside, but he could at least shoot threes.
Like, what's their starting lineup going to be like in an ideal world? What they're playing: Wood, Bullock, Kleber, Doncic, and Irving. Like, that's not getting you out of the West, surely.
I mean, yeah, definitely not getting you to the finals. I mean, it could probably. I mean, with Luka alone, you could push the conference finals, but I think they're my underdog team to lose in the second round. I think most people are expecting Luka to be making the conference finals, if not the finals this year, with that Kyrie addition. But it doesn't make sense. It literally would not make sense.
Last year, they probably shouldn't have even beat Phoenix. Like, Phoenix just literally capitulated in Game 7, and it shouldn't have even gone that far. Like, that wasn't about like how good Dallas were playing. It was about what the hell was happening in Phoenix. So like,
or Utah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They barely got past Utah. Like, I know Luka missed like the first 3 games there,
Yeah,
but like
Utah.
you
I'm
were
still
playing a
mad about
Utah
that.
team that had basically given up. Like that Utah team was done. You could see it. They were cooked. That's why they blew it up because they knew it.
Yeah, I miss that team.
So, like, Dallas might get lucky and draw the Kings in the first round, and they'll probably whoop us. But if they actually cop a real team in the playoffs that's actually switched on, like they're not getting past Denver. I don't think they get past Memphis as much as I hate Memphis. They're not beating the Warriors, not beating this Suns team.
They could probably beat the Clippers.
But then again, like the Clippers made some really good moves as well.
But have you ever watched Clippers basketball? They look like they're like retired.
Yeah, it's because they don't care. They don't care about the regular season.
I
That
know,
Clippers
but like
team, all they care about is the playoffs.
you gotta get there first, and then every time they get there, it's either A, everyone's injured, or B, the energy isn't there.
I don't know. I can never doubt the Clippers. I mean, even the games you've seen this year where like Kawhi and Paul George are on, like it doesn't even matter who else is on the floor.
If they're both on.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we've been saying that like every year since they teamed up, but like I still believe in it.
I mean, I believed in it at first, mainly because I was slightly a Paul George fan. I really enjoyed watching him, and he was close to my hometown, so I got to see him a little bit. And I mean, it's like, it's just kind of sad. Kind of wish they actually did more.
Yeah.
You just rip.
Yeah, I did.
I heard that.
Nice.
That's gonna go on
It was the
TikTok,
couch.
buddy.
Nice.
That's going on TikTok. I'm editing that specifically out of this. I'm gonna go find
Nice.
that one segment.
I couldn't help it, man. I've been holding that for like an hour. It's finally come through. Break the threshold.
Dang.
I don't know. If you get the Paul George that like from last year, like the end of last season, like yeah, they're dangerous. They're a dangerous team, the Clippers. The moves they made some really good moves, like picking up Plumlee.
That was a snag and a half of a trade. That was a good
Who
move
else
on
did
their
they
end.
get? They got rid of John Wall back to Houston.
That was so funny.
Uh,
That I laughed for 10 straight minutes because John Wall was just talking so much shit just to get sent right back.
and get waived again. So they're gonna have to pay him like 2 different contracts in the one season.
That's crazy.
No, I'm blanking on who else they got back now. They got rid of Kennard. Oh, Eric Gordon. They got Eric Gordon.
They also picked up Bones Highland.
Yeah, for 2 second-round draft picks.
Yeah.
Like, even if he doesn't play, like, that much, like, you've got that guy just coming off your bench for 10 minutes and dropping, like, can potentially
Hey,
drop
who
20
said he's
points.
even coming off the bench? Who's their point guard now?
Yeah, it'll be Eric Gordon.
Weren't we
I think Eric
just
Gordon.
talking shit about how, like, this dude is empty points? And now you want to start him at point guard?
I never mentioned Eric Gordon as empty points.
Yeah, you
Jalen
did.
Green. No, it was
No,
Jalen
you
Green.
mentioned both. Both.
No,
Both.
I have not
I
mentioned
will
Eric
pull
Gordon
this
at
up.
all.
I will
You can
pull
do
this up. I will quote
Yeah, edit it.
this.
Look for it. Right?
I have to pull up the YouTube video. My computer's already gonna explode.
I didn't mention Eric Gordon once. Far.
I mean, I don't watch much Eric Gordon. I know he hasn't done much. I don't think he's gonna be the starting point guard. I think that's supposed to be Bones' job.
Mm,
You know what? As long
Yeah,
as it
no.
not Paul George, we'll be fine.
I think it'll be Eric Gordon.
I don't. I think it's Bones. I have faith in him.
We'll see. Well, Denver didn't have faith in him. They gave him
That's
away for
very true.
nothing. I mean, there's been stuff coming out that like he's been fighting with like members of the staff, and so you don't want that toxicity around a team that's vying for a championship. But like, he's in his second year. He's shown potential. Like, you give him away for 2 second-round picks.
Thomas Bryant. I forgot that dude's on the Nuggets now too. Random thought.
Oh yeah. So DeAndre Jordan is getting waived then.
Yay!
Maybe he can go to the Bulls and be useless like Drummond.
I don't
We're
know.
tall. We're here. We do nothing. Oh,
Anyways,
actually, at least Drummond can.
yeah, Drummond can at least do something, but like, I think the Clippers are definitely more of a contender now, but I don't think they're gonna be finals team. I think I'm still picking pretty much everyone over the Clippers. I think the Clippers are first round exits. I don't care who they're versing. They could be versing Dallas. They could be versing, Denver. Either way, they're losing.
I don't know. See, that's the thing with the Clippers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're a first round exit. I also wouldn't be surprised if they're in the finals. Like,
I'd be
it
shocked.
just really depends on what team shows up.
I'd be shocked. I think that team should have blown up itself. Mainly because I don't believe in Kawhi, because he's injured all the time. But I mean, if we saw a non-injured Kawhi, a non-injury Paul George, I think they could probably get out of the first round. But I don't think they're getting into the conference finals, even with both.
But it's not even just them. Like, look at the supporting cast they got around them. Like, Zubats has been killing it this year. They got Marcus Morris, Covington, Norman Powell, Eric Gordon, Bones Highland. Like, we're talking about depth with the Suns and how they have nothing. Like, you could get rid of the starting five and play the reserves, like, for the Clippers, and they're still a competent team.
And they are still in the play-in.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, don't sleep on the Clippers.
I'm
That's
sleeping
all
on
I'll
the
say.
Clippers. I am sleeping hard on the Clippers.
Yeah, watch them knock Utah out.
I don't think Utah's even making the play-in after that trade. I think we're gone. I think we are irrelevant.
I mean, you were always irrelevant, but
We were good but irrelevant. Now we're bad but irrelevant.
Even with the trades, I still think he's better than Portland. So, shout out HQ, you traitor.
HQ also left the Trailblazers.
I know.
He left the Trailblazers and the Kings. He's trying to find a new team, and he rejected Utah because we're probably going to buy out Westbrook. If we don't, though, he said he's going to be a Utah fan.
You don't want him, trust me. Leaves the Kings because we drafted Keegan Murray. You're fool. Don't you feel stupid?
Panthers, you are wrong. The Warriors are not winning.
Yeah, no, the Warriors are cooked, brother. Sorry to burst your bubble.
They are hella cooked. I would be shocked to see the Warriors even win in the second round or make the conference finals more. I think they could be a second round team if they verse the right team, but I don't think they will. I think they're gonna lose in the first round. They gonna go bye-bye to Memphis. Memphis is gonna get their revenge.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Warriors make the conference finals. I don't see them beating Denver. They could probably beat any of the other teams
if they're lucky.
No, if you get the Warriors at full strength, they're still a good team.
They're a good team, but so is everyone else in the West.
I don't see them beating Denver. I don't see them beating Boston. They come up and say they make the finals, and they come
Boston
up against.
come from?
Because like I'm saying, they could make the finals. You never know.
I don't know. No, not a chance.
Like he's saying
no.
they could win it all. Like, so
He's a
I'm
Warriors fan.
I'm speculating if they made the finals. Like, say if they did make the finals, they're not beating Boston.
They're not beating Milwaukee.
They're not beating Milwaukee. Like, they wouldn't have won the title last year if Chris Middleton doesn't go down injured. Like, I'll live and die by that.
Well,
If Middleton doesn't go down injured, they're not facing the Celtics in the finals. They're facing the Bucks. And who on the Warriors is stopping Giannis? What, Kevon Looney?
old Draymond Green.
Draymond Green? Like, it's not happening, brother. Drew Holiday will lock up Steph.
You will lose. And unfortunately, the Golden State Warriors have in fact beat out Charlotte 45-32.
Rigged. It's because you were playing as the Warriors.
I literally did not play the entire game.
You did. I could hear you in the background.
Uh-huh.
Mashing all the
buttons. You can look at the
buttons.
stream, buddy. You haven't. Oh, I accidentally quit out before I saw the stats.
Iggy dropped 21.
Iggy dropped 80. So now
The only player from those Warriors teams that I've ever liked.
So now we're gonna randomize it here. Against the Warriors, we're gonna have. I'm overriding this override. 93-94 Nuggets with Dikembe Mutombo is not beating the 2015-16 Warriors.
Yeah, it is.
No, it is
like
not.
LaFonso Ellis, Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
Or would you rather have the second option of the 01-02 Kings?
Oh, no, it'd be like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf on those Nuggets teams, I think.
Yeah.
Have they got Alex English on those teams?
I don't know. I'm looking at your 01-02 Kings now.
No, we've watched them too many times. They're too good, you know. Don't want to keep watching them.
All right, fine. I'll refresh it again.
I want to see the 93-94 Nuggets.
Fine. We're gonna watch the 93-94 Nuggets lose by 30.
No, they're gonna win, bro. Mutombo.
Mutombo is gonna. He doesn't need to stop anyone. Who does he need to stop?
Curry's gonna go for a floater. Just boom! Get that shit out of here.
No, I disagree. All right. Anyways, let's continue on with whatever the hell we were talking about. Damn hiccups. So
we were talking about the Warriors because Panthers said they were the best.
We're ignoring that. We're moving.
Moving on.
Moving on. Warriors irrelevant. So I think the next big trade, obviously, the Bucks got rid of a lot of people to Indiana.
Jordan Nwora, George Hill.
But yeah. Jordan Nwora, George Hill, Serge Ibaka, and 3 second-round picks to Indiana. Brooklyn gets 2 second-round picks, and Jay Crowder goes to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Which, yeah, I don't really get. I don't get why they wanted him so badly.
Yeah, Jay Crowder was way too high on that value list. I mean, they had Joe Ingles, too. So, I mean, they found value in him, which I'm happy, you know.
Like, Middleton's
I love
back.
that guy.
Like, he's not back to being the Middleton, but, like, he's back from injury. You've got Joe Ingles. You've got Pat Connaughton.
The problem is with Jay Crowder is he wanted to start, if we all remember correctly. Who is this man starting for? Like, who you put into the bench? It ain't gonna be Brook. It ain't gonna be Giannis. It ain't gonna be Middleton. It ain't gonna be, what is it?
Maybe they play him at shooting guard. Prop Grayson Allen.
Bump Grayson Allen down. Put Giannis at shooting guard.
Just have a supersized lineup. Lopez, Giannis, Middleton, Crowder, and Drew. Like, I think then your shortest player is Drew, and he's like 6'3", 6'4".
And a good defender.
Yeah. I mean, they could do that.
I mean, that would be a.
Be,
Well, that isn't even like the worst idea of all time either. That's not. That's a big lineup. And I
that's
mean,
literally the only way you can start, though. Like, because they're not dropping Lopez.
Lopez has been having a great year, like a phenomenal year. Like, what the heck is this? The same guy from like 8 years ago? Year.
I love that. He's gone from like a low post player that cannot play defense at all to a stretch five that's like a defensive player of the year candidate. Like,
He
huh?
changed his entire game with the generation. Like, there is not many players. If everyone could do something like Brooke Lopez has, there would be a lot more players still in the league.
He's a smart man. He went to Harvard. That's why.
Yeah, he figured it out. Otherwise, DeMarcus Cousins would still be here.
Don't get me started on Boogie again.
I mean, it's you know, it's it's impressive, and I mean, it's gonna be hard to start Jay Crowder. I mean, I think he's gonna get pissed off and then realize he's gonna pull a Carmelo Anthony and maybe humble himself a little bit, but it's it's gonna be an interesting combo, and I don't know why he gave up 5 second-round picks for it.
That's the other thing. He's a free agent at the end of the year. So, like, you're giving up 5 second rounders for an expiring contract of a dude that hasn't played in 9 months.
Yep.
Like, there's also that. Like, he's going to have to play himself into shape, like, get back up to speed. And also, like, last year in the playoffs for Phoenix, he was garbage.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So, that's why I don't get it. Like, you give up a couple second rounders for Jay Crowder, sure. 5 plus Nwora, Hill, and Ibaka, like, I don't get it.
I mean, I don't know what the Bucks luxury tax situation was, but I'm assuming they were probably over. That's probably why they gave up so many players.
But even then, the
Damn.
players they're giving up, like, none of them guys would be on big
Iggy
money.
just
Like,
airballed the crap out of that shot.
I know Nwora is like only on like 3 mil.
Yeah, but I mean,
George Hill would have been on a low contract, and Ibaka probably would have been the expensive one there. But like, you tell me, like, Ibaka and Crowder are sort of group in the same category.
yeah,
Like, they both shoot threes and are a bit spotty, and they both can play a little bit of defense. Like, Crowder's arguably better a perimeter defender than Ibaka because he's not as tall, so he's better mobility. But like, people forget Sergi Blocker.
I mean, I think that the reason they did it is probably because I mean, if you look at, I think they probably, with that trade they got rid of $10 million or something around that mark. But then you pick up Jay Crowder and that's like another $6-7 million contract. So I mean, they gained $3 million and lost 5 second-round picks for it. Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't.
And
I don't really
Moore,
get
I
what.
mean, he was a solid player. It's not like he's bad. He's young.
Yeah, he just wasn't getting any playing time. He's
Yeah.
like 4th in the depth chart. So it makes sense for them to get rid of him. Or probably Indiana probably demanded it. Probably like, yeah, we'll take on the George Hill and Ibaka contracts, but we want something good out of it.
But,
Other than second round picks. Like, oh, we'll give you the only good young player we have.
yeah.
They should have gone for Mamu instead.
They should have gone for, like, I don't know. You probably could have gotten anybody out of that. That was young. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad move, and I know that they did, in fact, drop both Hill and Ibaka to the free agency. So they're
Oh,
both,
really? Already?
I know Ibaka for sure. I think Hill was in the plans.
It's like the 3rd time that George Hill's been dumped by Indiana in his career.
Definitely.
I'm sick of coming here.
Imagine he, like, stays there, though. Wouldn't that be hilarious? That'd be, the other hilarious one would be John Wall. The Rockets don't even drop him. They're like, we're gonna do the exact same thing all over again, just to give you another middle finger for talking crap about us.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure at all.
Uh, Definitely makes sense why you're unsure, but I mean, I'm excited to see a lot of these teams after the trade deadline, especially, I'm really excited to see Jay Crowder play basketball again because I think it's going to go very bad, and I think the Milwaukee Bucks just wasted a lot of picks for no reason. But I mean, you know, good for them to make, for making moves. Better than the Bulls.
Yeah, I think it was a move they just didn't have to make. To
I
be
think they just
fair,
got
like
too
I guess when you've
excited.
been chasing him, they've been chasing him for that long, and like I know that they've had like dinner meetings and stuff with him, and like yeah, we're committed to getting you and stuff. That I guess they can't go back on it now, and they had to make a deal happen. But yeah, I don't rate him.
Or
I
you could
don't rate
just,
the pickup. I don't rate the deal.
or hear me out, you wait until the off season and you sign him.
Yeah, but he'd be useless. Be useless in the off season to get him.
Well, yeah.
You get someone else that's
It's yeah. Yeah. Fully agree there. They're probably I don't think he's gonna sign. Jay Crowder might be out of the league next year. Unless he plays it like really well. Better than Carmelo. That's the only way
oh
this
no, he won't be Carmelo in it, but he's definitely with his antics he's pulled this season, like he's definitely um definitely burned a lot of bridges. A lot of teams probably won't go near him now.
and he's been on like half the teams in the league too.
Yeah, that's true.
This dude's been on like at least 9 teams. He's got to be up there with Trevor Ariza. Send him to the Lakers.
Trevor Ariza could still make a comeback.
He could. I mean, it's definitely his time if he wanted to, but I don't think he is. He's too old,
I think he's done.
and he's been on too many teams. He knows every playbook. He could be a coach. or put Tristan Thompson back in the league. I can't believe that dude's
Tristan
already
Thompson
like
still is in the league.
an analyst. Like, this dude is like, what, 31, 32? He's not even that old. This dude already going to the meet. Should have went.
If there was still some sort of use for an undersized 5 that can't stretch the floor, then he'd still be in the league. He was a great rebounder.
Another guy like that I miss is Derek Favors. Love that man in Utah. He got outdated though.
Good player. Just the league just changed on him. It's like, yeah, we don't need you to be taking mid-range post-ups anymore.
The league might change, but I still do mid-range post-ups in NBA 2K. It works.
Yeah, you're not playing the percentages, my friend. I mean, every time I make a my player, it's like a KD player that just pulls up from mid-range and just strokes it, but pump fake on the 3, run inside the line, little midi.
Well,
it's fun in video games. It doesn't work in real life.
It does not. I mean, the only guy who's, a good mid-range scorer still around is, like, Kawhi Leonard, and then that list is, like, DeMar, and then, like, it falls off. You could debate, like, CJ, like, 2 years ago, but...
CJ's still, like, he's mainly a 3-point shooter.
Well, 2 years ago, he was more of a mid-range guy, but... Now he's adapted to more of a 3-point role. And, you know, the mid range is gone. We know this. Everyone has to take deeper and deeper shots. 4-point line will probably be added within the next 3 years.
I give
And,
up on basketball if that happens.
well, I mean, how do you think the people, when it was only 2-pointers and they added a 3-point line, felt? Like,
That at least makes sense.
well, that's what they probably didn't think that though. Some of them at least. I mean, for the 4-point line, it probably won't make sense to you, but then eventually, 20 years down the line, it makes perfect sense. And then, little do you know, 4-pointers become a normal thing to shoot.
Bro, I hate when people take those stupid Steph Curry shots. I hate watching them. It takes no bloody skill. Ooh, watch me jack up a 3 from freaking half court. Luck. Oh, I'm Jordan Poole. I can hit stupid freaking shots.
Jordan Poole
Flops.
turns into 2016 Steph whenever he sees baddies on courtside. That's the only thing he has in his entire career.
Sees what at courtside?
A baddie. You know what a baddie is,
The
Brock?
hell is that?
It's a
No idea,
pretty
man.
girl. That's what it means.
Then why are they batty?
Oh my god. You're old. I'm sorry. I'm not explaining that. You're old. Accept
You
your
young
fate.
whippersnapper, the lingo. This is like last time you're like Andrew Tate. Who the frick is that?
Dude. Oh my god.
Who the frick is that chick? Who is that chick you're talking about? Zendia or Zendaya?
Zendaya? Oh my god.
Who the frick are these people, man?
Oh my god. I am dead. I'm sorry, Brock, but you are old. You are
Not even.
outdated. You are the iPhone 8.
8? What the hell?
You're still relevant and you're still sold throughout everybody, but you're not the newest model.
I'm just not a sellout like y'all. Live my own life.
This man does live in the outer parts of Australia, which is already the outer part of the world. This dude
Yeah, you're
lives.
just jealous.
This dude lives in his own area. He's the only member of his local town. He is the mayor.
That'd be nice, actually.
That would be nice, actually. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'd be able to tell myself to shut up and tax myself more.
That's so funny.
No, it's like I scroll down Twitter half the time and it's like people with like 1 million like views on their freaking posts. I'm like, who the hell even is this person?
1 million isn't anything anymore. You have to have like 1 billion and then you start getting questioned. It's the
No, but it's
social
like
media era.
perfect example. Jenna Ortega, like I know who she is. She's not that big a deal. Oh, I played Wednesday. This show's rubbish, bro. Everyone freaking goes on like it's the best thing since sliced bread, and like, oh my god, it's a remake of the freaking Addams Family.
Wait, it is? I actually never watched it. I only watch NBA
just
stuff now. I don't watch.
The Last of Us, bro. It's so good. It's like
I never watched
no,
that
the
either.
video game was good.
Never
Yeah,
watched it.
it's just crap
Okay,
I see in my feed. Man.
What happened
Rubbish.
to talking about the NBA? Now we're talking about pop culture, what you don't know. This is gonna be a great TikTok clip, but damn. What do we
See,
even have
Zendaya,
left?
if you're out there, I don't know who the hell you are.
That's crazy. That's going on the wall of. We need to make a wall of fame with that quote. Just
Hit
that.
me up. I'll know who you are.
Oh my god.
He's gonna get all these abusive messages from all these like teen girls. Oh my god, you don't know who that is?
Oh my god. Hey, if we could get that far,
How
that'd be
dare you
nice.
not know
Maybe
who
we'd
this
actually
person
get
is?
some, publicity. Bad publicity is still good publicity. Life fact.
Well, who's this Andrew Tate dude? I call him out. You're a dickhead, mate. Don't know who you are or what you do.
He's
You're
in
a
prison,
dickhead.
so it's kind of hard to call him out.
Oh, so he is a dickhead then.
Yeah.
I was right. Cop that, buddy.
Damn. We pretty much covered everybody, actually, surprisingly. Except
Yeah, I think
the biggest
there's a few
trade
small
of
deals.
them all. This is the best trade, nobody's ever seen a trade like this. The Sacramento Kings getting Kessler Edwards and cash considerations for the draft rights to David Machinu for the Nets. How do you feel about that trade?
Oh, well, first off, didn't even know we had the draft rights to that dude, whoever he is. Never heard of him. And we get Kessler Edwards and some cashola, which I looked on Twitter and the Nets fans seemed unhappy that they were losing Kessler Edwards. So I guess he must be all right. I think he's getting sent straight to the G League.
He's gonna
So-
carry your G League.
Our G League team's already stacked.
Well, he's gonna carry it now.
We got Neemias Cater, Keon Ellis. I'm pretty sure John Stockton's son still plays for our G League team.
I'm pretty sure
David?
that's right.
Um,
Y'all need to pick up Johnny Davis.
and Bobby Jackson. Bobby Jackson coaches them.
Pick up Johnny Davis. You need him.
He's playing in the G League for Washington.
Yeah. And
Or
have
whatever
you
it
ever,
is. Well, I
have
don't
you
know what
looked
the
up
G
his stats in the G League?
Not very good, I don't think.
He is playing worse than most G League players are playing in the G League. Actually, as in some, I mean, like, almost all of them. He's, like, garbage. Like, you wouldn't even think he got drafted to the NBA level of garbage.
Pick 7 or something, wasn't he?
10.
10. I know he's a lottery pick. You know what's funny is you watch him in college and he was actually really good.
Yeah, he was good in college, but something's happened since then. And I'll tell you this,
I think
it's not good.
a lot of teams were actually concerned with him coming out of college, and they were like, yeah, his game's not going to translate to the NBA.
And it didn't.
Washington were like, yeah, nah, he'll be fine. Mid-range shots are awesome.
There's a reason why they are out of the play-in with Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis.
And Kuzma. Don't forget the Kuz, man.
Ooh. Talk to me when he's an all-star.
He will be this year.
This year.
Could be.
Wait,
There's so many players. There's so many players like dropping out. He could be. You never know.
that is true. I don't really count the drop-off ones. That's why Mike Conley got an all-star appearance.
Fox better replace bloody Curry. I tell you what.
What if Fox just didn't?
Oh, I'm gonna be pissed. No, I don't think he deserved it anyway. Ant-Man. Even though I hate him, Ant-Man should be the first replacement for the West.
I mean, all-stars are all-stars. We already have our take on the all-star game.
Glorified pickup game.
Literally, they made it a pickup game.
But that's what it's always been there. Let's be honest.
You,
For at least like the last
all right.
8
So-
years or something.
What do you think? Should we rate these trades now? Grade them? Like every other content creator of all time probably is doing today?
Nah,
Yes.
I don't think so.
We should do it.
I I don't really want to grade stuff until I've actually seen it play out because it's all just like theory in my
Well,
head.
yeah,
You know?
it's theory. It's, can you predict it, kind of?
Yeah, okay. I guess so.
All right.
Lay 'em on me and I'll give you a grade.
Okay. So, you know what? I'm gonna make sure we mark this down too. I'm gonna put this in my notes app. That is how important this is to me.
Just so you, like in
So,
a month's time, you can go, ha! You thought that was a good deal, you fool.
Josh Richardson, that trade with Devonte Graham and 4 second-round picks for Josh Richardson.
I mean, for New Orleans, it's probably a B minus.
B minus.
Like Josh Richardson's a good pickup. Yeah. Josh Richardson's a good pickup, but 4 second rounders for him? Bit of an overpay, I think. For the Spurs, it's like an A.
That's
Devontae Graham's contract's a little steep, but
I mean, in my opinion on it, yeah, I don't think Devonte Graham was really even doing anything really over there.
no, he wasn't.
Yeah, and
Just an-
4 second-round picks. I mean, yes, second-round picks is my favorite quote is of the day. We're being handed out like STDs at a frat house, but you know, it wasn't like the worst trade of all time, and I think I'm gonna go like almost the opposite. I don't really think Josh. I mean, Josh Richardson, he's a good player, but I don't think he's really that good. Like, damn, he's defense, but that's about it.
I can shoot threes at a decent clip.
Yeah, I guess, but
He's
I'm
literally
gonna
just your
go
3 and D role
literally
player.
the exact opposite. I'm gonna go B minus for the Pelicans here, and I'm gonna go A for the Spurs. I think if you give
That's
Devonte
exactly what
Graham
I
that
said.
chance on a trash Spurs lineup, you could probably see something happen.
You said you're doing the opposite. You just did exactly what I did.
Yeah, the literal opposite. A B minus for the one team and A for the other.
No, but that's what I did. I gave the Spurs an A
Yeah,
and the
I did
Pelicans a
the
B
opposite.
minus.
Literally. Gave the exact
Yeah, I'm
opposite
watching
grade.
you, buddy. I'm watching you, buddy.
Alright. Our 3-team trade is next. I'm going in literal order of when this shit happened. So, the Houston Rockets get Danny Green, Clippers get Eric Gordon, and 3 second-round picks, and a pick swap with the Clippers. Writes the pick swap with the Clippers, so they get their own pick back. And Grizzlies get the Luke Kennard, the GOAT.
Man, so what is Houston? What, Houston literally only got Danny Green out of this.
Yeah.
I thought they get the rights to a pick swap.
Apparently not.
This seems fishy to me. I swear they got more than just Danny Green out of it.
I mean, maybe this was the John Wall one, because I don't see it here. Maybe ESPN didn't do it right.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no, I think this is where John Wall is, because he's not even in this like transaction report, so ESPN did it wrong. I'm like 80% sure here.
Just give me a second. I'll find where my one is at.
Panthers said that the Jay Rich is a C minus.
C? That's like a fail. C minus is like fucking below 50% on your test.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
like a C minus, at least in America. That's like a 72.
You're all weird, man.
D is like a 60-something. F is a fail.
You're weird, man.
I'm
Weirdos.
just gonna say that John Wall's in this trade for the Rockets, just for sakes of the fact that I can't find it. I'm pretty sure it's actually supposed to be there.
Right here, I've got it.
Okay.
Houston Rockets received Danny Green, John Wall,
Yeah.
rights to Milwaukee's 2023 first-round pick, with the option to swap for the
ESPN
Clippers'
was wrong.
2023 first-round pick. The Clippers received Eric Gordon and 3 second-rounders, and Memphis received Kennard. So, yeah, Houston get Danny Green, John Wall,
Why was
and
it?
rights to swap a first-round pick.
That's crazy that ESPN got that so wrong. Shout out ESPN for being trash. Okay, so this definitely changes the scaling of things. So what do we think on the Rockets?
For the Rockets, like a D.
D.
Yeah. I think it's, what are they? They're going to waive Danny Green. They're going to waive John Wall. And they got nothing. They got the rights to trade the pick. And it's either going to be a Milwaukee pick or a Clippers pick. Both teams are good this year. So you got nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
So, yeah, Houston was stupid. They should have traded Gordon like in the past 3 years when teams were actually calling about him. I'm like, hey, we'll give you 3 second-rounders, or no, we want a first-round pick. We want a first-round pick, and you don't even get a second-rounder for him now. So,
yeah, you know, yeah. I was in around that same thing. But I'm gonna go worse. I think it was an F tier trade. I don't think it was useful in any way, shape, or form. The player you're gonna get is trash, probably. You're buying out John Wall's contract. You're keeping Danny Green on your bench for probably him to rot. There was no benefit at all to this trade.
No, the saving grace is just you get John Wall back for the memes. That's why I didn't give it a fail.
I gave it a fail because they're going to buy him out, and it's not going to produce anything.
The Clippers, it's like probably an A minus.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving up John Wall, who wasn't fitting in with the team. You lose Kennard, but you get back Gordon, who shoots the three, maybe not as well as Kennard, but can do a lot more. Can play make. Will fill that point guard spot most likely, even though you think it's going to be Bones. But they get the 3 second-round picks, which they'll probably use. They'll use just to make some more deals.
So what do you give that?
Like an A minus.
A minus. That's a little high in my opinion. I agree with
I'm sort of
everything you said
guessing
there.
Myself.
But except the fact that I think Eric Gordon's going to be off the bench. I think he's going to be a solid off-the-bench point guard for him. And, because he's also a huge scorer, I think he's going to interfere with Norman Powell and what he's been doing. He's been kicking it recently. He's been playing great. So, in my opinion, I think this is I'm going to give this a B. Just a straight-up B. I think it was a good trade. The second-round picks are definitely going to be used for some deal of some sort in the future, or they might just add depth to their team in the future. Either way, you can't go wrong.
The thing is that I want to know where these second-round picks have come from. It makes it hard to do the grades. Like, you don't know where the second-rounders are coming from. They're all coming from Memphis, or some from the Rockets, or they're just on-traded from other teams. I've literally only got 3 second-round picks here, so it's sort of hard to judge it, especially when it comes to this next part of it, where the Memphis Grizzlies literally just get Luke Kennard. So in essence, they've given up Danny Green for Luke Kennard, which
that's a slight upgrade.
To me, it's like a net neutral. Like,
well, I mean, it gives them 3-pointers. I mean,
Danny Green gives you threes.
I mean, they were doing pretty fine on defense. I think Danny Green's probably better defensively. And we all know that. I mean, yes, Danny Green's going to give you threes, but Luke Kennard's going to give you more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like Kennard and Bain if they both get hot in the same game. Like, how the hell are you going to stop that? Just raining threes. So yeah, I'd give it a solid B. Maybe a B minus.
Which one, huh?
It's hard with the picks, as I said. I'll go just B because I don't know where the picks are coming from. If Memphis had to give up like 2 of those second rounders to the Clippers, then it's like a C plus. But yeah, I'll give it a B.
I'm gonna also go around that same mark. I'm gonna go with a C. I have to agree. It's more of a net neutral. And I mean, yeah, if they get hot, that's good. But I mean, I don't know how many minutes they're planning to use Luke Kennard for. They already have a deep rotation. I'm not really too sure where he really fits in, other than threes. But yeah, that's my take.
You never know. There's the chance that he takes Dylan Brooks' spot, who has been terrible offensively this year.
True, but I think there's probably
I don't see it happen,
people in line for Dylan Brooks' spot before Luke Kennard is.
I'd argue that, but yeah.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Lakers and Magic.
Oh, this is
This is easy.
Bamba for Beverly in a second rounder.
For Bev and a second round.
I mean, probably a C plus for the Magic. They're just getting a second rounder for a player they weren't using.
Yep.
And the Lakers, it's probably the same.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on the Magic. C plus for sure. Lakers, I'm gonna have to honestly go with I'm gonna go with a B minus on this one. A little bit higher than a C plus, simply because I feel like Bamba has some upside to bring to their team that they might need, but I also don't know if he's actually gonna work there. So I mean, good move to pick up some younger players, so you aren't gonna be screwed 8 years down the line like everyone thought you were. So I mean, good move. Respectful move. Ready for the next one?
That's fair. Yep.
Hawks, Pistons, Warriors trade.
Atlanta gets Sadiq Bey. Detroit get James Wiseman.
Yep.
And what the Warriors got like 5 second round picks.
And also the Kevin Knox guy.
Oh,
don't forget him.
That guy's still in the league.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's still.
Golly, I just remember that time when Zion in summer league just blocked him and caught the ball out of the air. Like, the dude's career was over in summer league. He's still in the league somehow.
So yeah.
Should we just loop the Gary Payton into this as well?
Pretty much. Where did he come from? Portland?
Yeah, so if we just look at it this way, it's like Atlanta get Sadiq, Detroit get Wiseman, Golden State get GP.
Yep.
Portland get Kevin Knox in the 5 second rounders. I think we just look at it that way.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do.
For Atlanta,
I don't know what I'm giving Atlanta.
Probably a B.
Really?
I think like Sadiq Bey is going to be a good pickup for him, I think. But 5 second round picks is a lot. Kevin Knox was doing nothing. But like, I'm just judging on like how he's played this year, not factoring in potential or anything like that. Like,
I'm doing that.
He could pump it up to a B plus. Like, I like this move for Atlanta, but yeah, it's I don't know. Like, do you have to give up that many second rounders? Like, that gets rid of your flexibility in the future if it doesn't work out.
I mean, personally speaking, I'm giving it an A. I was thinking about an A plus, but I have to agree with you. If it doesn't work, the future, your second rounders will be a little bit nice because that's 5 players that might do something. But you know, it's also just second round picks. I think it was a good pickup for a guy that has a potential to be really good in this league. So I think it's an A move. I have no complaints. I think it was a good thing. I think I would have done that personally if I was the GM.
I don't know. I think I'm just judging them all pretty harshly. It's got to be like, yeah, that's definitely a win to get an A for me.
Yeah.
Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons and Wiseman. I'm grading this one bad, personally. I don't think it was smart. You don't need more centers. How many centers do you need? I don't care what you think of them. You could have just waited for another lifetime.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a D minus.
I'm giving it an F.
The only thing stopping it from being an F is he does have potential to maybe be a good player in the league one day. That's it.
Well, the reason why I give him an F is because you're taking away from Jalen Duren's time. And he's just going to turn into another Mo Bamba at best.
Yeah. D minus. I'm going to stick with that.
I'm sticking with F.
We both think it's a dumb trade, though.
Yeah.
We're in agreement with that.
That was a stupid trade. Warriors picking up Gary Payton II. I feel like we're going to have different opinions on this one.
So basically, in essence, you just traded James Wiseman for Gary Payton.
Yeah.
I don't know. What have you got?
I think it's more or less like it's not a smart trade. It's not a dumb trade. Because I mean, you're helping out your fan base. This is a fan base move. This is not a move that is going to better your team. I think James Wiseman had more potential than Gary Payton. I don't think they really needed Gary Payton. They already had Dante DiVincenzo. Like, it didn't make that much sense. I mean, yeah, he's adding bench depth. Yeah, he's adding morale to your team. But, like, was it really needed? Do you really need him to win that championship or push you forward? I don't think so. I'm giving it a D. Actually, a D+. I'm going to be nice.
Yeah. I'll say C minus.
Wow, you're so clever.
It's hard, like, because Gary Payton's just such a weird player. Like, he's 6'2", but they're probably going to play him on the wing. Like, he won't be taking, like, DiVincenzo or Pool's spot.
Yeah.
He's more likely going to cut minutes from Kuminga and Moody.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. I'm moving my grade back down to a D because you're taking away from your young guys that you actually need to be getting minutes.
Well, no, that's exactly why they did the deal, though. Because they need more experienced depth because you can't just waste the last few years of Curry's greatness with these young guys that just might not ever freaking get it. That's exactly why they've done this deal, and they probably should have done more, to be honest. And that's why I give it a C minus, because, like, surely there was a better deal out there for Wiseman than just getting back some dude that, like, when Gary Payton got that deal from Portland, I was like, well, there's another team in the league that's actually interested in this guy. I don't rate him at all. Like, he's a good character to have on your team, but play-wise, like, the most memorable thing he ever did was get him chopped out by Dylan Brooks. Break his freaking arm. Like,
Also,
get called the
I
or get
do
called
have
the mitten. Like
I do have to say, our Warriors Nuggets game ended.
Nuggets won.
No, they lost by like 16.
Oh, that's your fault. Stop playing as the Warriors.
I didn't even do it this time. The Warriors shot 25% from 3. You think I would do that?
Yeah, I expect worse.
Clay
Worst
went
2K
2 of
player.
9 from 3. Everyone on their team missed a 3 except Curry and Clay.
I mean, that's how it usually works, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Mutombo did great, but Abdul Rauf sold their team. He went 4 of 17.
It's done to Ray Allen.
I don't know. Yeah. Because, I mean, Ray Allen had one game with us that was good. One. All right, now who's gonna be able to beat this team? We got 02-03 Mavericks.
It's like Nick Van Exel.
Yeah, that is Nick Van Exel. Also, I do have to say that Panthers believes that the Gary Payton trade is an A-.
What?
Warriors fan out here.
Come on, man. You gotta be objective. A-. What do you get? He's not gonna do anything, bro.
No, he's not. Let's just move on. Portland next. Pick it up 5 seconds and Kevin Knox.
I mean, it's an A-.
A-. Really?
Yeah. I mean, you're giving up a player that you weren't using. You get back 5 second-round picks for basically nothing.
And Kevin Knox.
Yeah. Screw that guy.
What
does he even do? He's so useless. He's so freaking useless.
You know, I'm gonna go great. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go a little bit under. I'm gonna give it a C+.
C+.
Yeah, 5 seconds are nice, but you know how there's it's like 2 in every 30 second-round players actually have like a good career.
Yeah, but second rounders are just like trade fodder. So like, think if they've got these 5 second rounders now. You know, maybe they don't want to pay Jeremy Grant, so they do a sign and trade. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Kevin Knox, he's Kevin Knox.
About as useful as Gary Payton.
Yeah, so C+ is being generous, in my opinion. You gave it an A- and you gave Sadiq Bey a B+. Like, that's just wild to me.
I don't remember what I'm giving. I'm just going with it. Go with the flow. I mean, you got 5 second rounders for nothing in my mind.
You're saying you'd rather have 5 second-round picks than Sadiq Bey.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
That's what your grading is saying right now.
No, it's not.
You gave B+ to Sadiq Bey, an A- for 5 second rounders. That is definitely what you're saying. You are valuing the 5 second rounders higher than Sadiq Bey.
I think you're reading into it too much.
I think you're pulling a stupid.
Hey.
Panthers wants to join, but he doesn't know how long it is. It's however long we want it to be. God.
How long's what?
The podcast is.
Oh, but it's talking about my piece. Pretty long.
He is talking about your piece. You know what? I was about to say the Bruno Fernando trade, but I don't think either of us gives a shit.
Who?
I don't think any of us care. Garrison Matthews and Bruno Fernando for Frank Kaminsky.
No, there was more to that.
And Justin Holiday, 2 second round. Do you care about this trade?
Not at all.
Yeah, we're skipping it.
Oh, here it is on my thing.
Denver Nuggets and Clippers trade of 2 second rounders for Bones Highland.
This Clippers A. Like maybe even A+.
I was gonna agree with A plus there.
Yeah, like
That was a great pickup for such a cheap price.
those second rounders might have even come as part of that three-way trade that we were talking about before. So like that'd just make that even more of a win.
Yeah. And I mean, what's
Um,
Denver gonna do? Pick another Jokic?
yeah, and like Bones is only in the second year, in his second year. Like, surely there was something better out there that they could have got for him. For Denver, it's like,
They just had no value at all for him. Like
I
that.
think this might be like the first F. I think I'm going to go like the two extremes. I'm going to give the Clippers an A plus. I'm going to give the Nuggets an F.
I honestly have to agree with you here. I don't know what the hell Denver was doing on that one. I mean, I had that Utah Jazz trade happen to me. You know damn well I'm gonna go crazy on that one. But
So
like,
yeah,
damn, that was bad.
I don't think there's much more to say than that. I just think it was just stupid from the Nuggets. Like obviously, like as we talked earlier in the pod, like they needed to get rid of him. But you're
That
telling me
was couldn't at
you couldn't
least
get
get a
back like a
Jay
Josh Richardson
Crowder,
or something?
Jay
Yeah,
Crowder deal at least. Like, damn.
Josh Richardson, freaking some sort of player that would actually be useful to you.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to cover the Jay Crowder rating too, or Brooklyn gets 2 seconds? George Hill, Serge. I guess we should cover it. We're gonna see how like later on, maybe like in 3 months from now, we could see what we rate this trade. But Nets, they get 2 second rounders. Indiana is next. They get George Hill, Serge, 3 second rounders, and Jordan Nwora.
See, my one's got it a different way. Mine's got Brooklyn getting the 3 second rounders and Indy getting 2.
Who are you stealing this from?
Bleacher Report.
Yeah, I'm going with you then.
This
Because
is
I don't
like they
trust
did their own
ESPN.
grades.
I don't trust ESPN at all anymore.
Yeah, this is like I'm on their grades article, seeing what they gave it. I'm like, yeah, it's just got all the deals broken down.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, Milwaukee getting J.
Yeah, let's just start there.
C minus.
Yeah, I was gonna go C minus simply because I don't think he's gonna fit. I think it was a move that wasn't really needed for giving up 5 second rounders.
Yeah, it's just those points that we made before when we were actually discussing it. Like, is he going to start? He hasn't played for 9 months. He wasn't that great when he did play last. He's given up 5 second round picks and like some depth players that could have been useful. Like George Hill's been getting decent minutes this year and doing a half decent job. Ibaka and Nwora are whatever. So
Ibaka's getting waived. George Hill's probably getting waived. You're really talking here cap space and Jordan Nwora and 2 seconds.
Yeah. So for the Pacers, it's got to be like an A. Because I mean, they didn't give
I
up.
don't really agree with that.
But they didn't give up anything. They literally were just there using their cap space to facilitate a trade between two other
I didn't even realize that. Shit. Yeah, I'm going with you on that.
You can't like really rate them down. It's just like
they literally just got free picks.
Free picks and Nwora.
Yeah.
Like, be
and
good for them.
I'm gonna have to even go with the Nets having an A on this trade too, because I mean they got 3 seconds for a guy that they probably had no plan at using at all.
Yeah, I'd probably say like a B plus or an A minus for Brooklyn, just because it lessens the KD trade a little bit.
But I mean,
I just keep
lessens
thinking
the
about
KD
like in the
trade,
off.
but it's picks that they're gonna need because they're trash.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I keep thinking about like Brooklyn could have got Aiton in this deal if they'd done it earlier in the season. It's like, yeah, well, we still got Crowder, but then we traded him.
For 3 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, probably A minus, which isn't too bad anyway.
Yeah. They did good with what they could.
Yeah.
All right, next trade that we're gonna go with is the Matisse Thybulle trade. Because this one's a little, questionable here. Because I'm not really too sure. Jalen McDaniels for Matisse Thybulle. I mean, that's like almost the same guy.
I'm still pissed that the Kings didn't get in on this. Do you have this as a three-way trade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Trailblazers.
Oh, this is Svi again.
Yeah, the Trailblazers, they get Thybulle. And then Sixers get Jalen McDaniels, and I believe it was 2 seconds.
Yep.
And then Svi Mikhailuk goes to the Hornets.
And they get a second as well.
Whoa.
And it's their second that they gave to Philly.
Okay.
In a different trade.
Of course. All right. Well, what do you think on that?
For the Hornets, probably a B minus. McDaniels was out of contract at the end of this year. I don't think they were probably going to pay him, just like they're probably not going to pay PJ Washington.
Yeah.
So to get something for an expiring contract, the second round pick back, I mean, yeah, maybe a C plus, B minus, something like that.
All right.
It's just a meh.
I'll give you a C plus on it. I'm going C here on that Hornets trade. I mean, you're getting Svi Mikhailuk, who's probably not going to do anything for you. You're getting a second round pick. I guess it's not bad for a guy, who you're probably going to let walk. At least you got something. Potentially get a guy like him back. But, I mean, I'm giving it a C. I think it's okay. I'm also giving probably everyone in this trade a C. Simply because I don't see the value too much. I mean, yeah, it's Thybulle, and maybe he'll do good in Portland, but I don't think he wasn't that good in Philly recently. He wasn't playing too much.
Yeah. So Philly, probably give Philly. Yeah, I'm sort of on the similar lines to you. I'd probably give Philly a C plus. I mean, maybe a B minus because they're getting the 2 second rounders out of it.
Yeah.
Like McDaniels and Thybulle basically cancel each other out, and then they're getting 2 second rounders.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably B minus for Philly. And then Portland, yeah, probably a C plus as well. I probably would have given it a better grade if they didn't already do the Cam Reddish deal before this.
That is
It'd
true.
make so much more sense. But as we discussed before, with both of them, I don't get how you can you're not committed to either one of them by having both of them. You know what I mean? And they both need full commitment.
Definitely.
To show you exactly what they can do. It's sort of weird. Portland had a weird trade period.
Next up on that trade list, Tomas Bryant for Davon Reed and 3 second rounders.
Well, for the Lakers, it's got to be like an A minus. I mean, they brought in Bomber, so they didn't really have a need for Tomas. They get 3 second rounders for him. So, I mean, I don't really know much about Reed, but
He's basically, in my opinion, like Kevin Knox, but probably better than Kevin Knox. That would be my opinion on it. But you said what?
I'm just reading here that he's like a 3 and D sort of guy, but not that good.
So you're giving it an A?
A minus.
A minus. I'm gonna have to agree with you. That was what I was gonna go with, an A minus. I think 3 seconds is gonna be great. They could pick up somebody for 3 seconds at least. And
Well, we already
Devon
seen,
Reed,
like, they-
I don't really care. I think he's probably gonna not even play. But 3 seconds for Tomas Bryant is not a bad deal.
Yeah, and we've already seen, like, they used 1 second and dumped Beverly, and they got Bumber out of it. So, like, seconds aren't completely, like, worthless. They're like sweeteners, really. That's the way I see them. They're just, like, little things to get deals over the line. So if you've got them, like, they're handy.
Yeah.
Like, first rounders you can actually trade for players, and second rounders you can use to finalize deals for players. Like, that's the way I've always looked at it.
Well, let's just head to the Nuggets next. I think this is, personally speaking, I think this is a bad deal. Really bad.
I think it's
Because Tomas
C
Bryant was
minus.
complaining about how he had a role that was bad behind Jokic. Not Jokic, AD. He's going to have the same problem with Jokic. The exact same issue.
I mean, if he's got a problem with that, then he's probably not going to last that long in the league, to be honest. Like, oh, man, I don't want to back up this, like, potential top 5 centers in the league. It's like, dude, you're not starting caliber. What do you expect?
Yeah.
You're in a good situation. Just deal with it. I'd probably give Nuggets a C minus, I think.
I was honestly going to go with a D here.
The only reason I didn't go with the D is just because I think he could be useful for them.
He could probably do something, and then, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to do much. I think he's probably going to end up walking or demanding another trade. I don't see him doing anything. He's a D to me. Oh, why are you in here twice now? Bro, in here twice. F. You're giving that an F tier, Panthers? That's crazy. Who else we got left? So after that we have KD.
I've got a fix.
What?
Give me a sec.
Yeah, you have 2 people in here. You're echoing. There you go. Now it's down to 1. Back yet? This is when we need, elevator music to pop in here. That's still Brock. He's just doing multiple Brocks. That's who that is. Oh, there we go. He'll be back in like 5 seconds. Maybe. There he is. Welcome back.
And there's only one of me.
Yay!
Sorry, I had to use the toilet. I'm like, I'll just mute myself quickly, and then my app like cooked it.
Damn. And you know what? I was actually thinking, maybe we should cover the rest of these like another episode. We could do, because this one we could like record and not necessarily do live on like a different time when we have less time.
What, like the grades?
Yeah. Because I don't think there's really
I mean,
there's not too much that we didn't already cover with those.
we could, but like, haven't we only got like 2 to go?
We have like a lot more actually. There's like a lot of trades. Because the next one we had was KD, and then after that was Jakob. Then after that was Josh Hart. Then after that it was the D'Angelo Russell thing. And then
Oh, yeah.
Kyrie,
Jeez.
and then Rui. That was the trade.
I mean, Rui, we've already sort of last
Yeah.
time. I said all I needed to say about that. Like, we didn't grade it or anything, but screw that guy.
I guess we could just not do Rui. That
That's
is true,
basically
but
the gist.
there's a. I mean, if you want to bang it out, I'm fine with it. Next. So, KD.
I think we might as well just. We've already started. We might as well just finish it.
Yep.
Just go a
KD
bit
and
quicker
TJ
through it.
Warren. In exchange for, what's it? Mikal, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-rounders, and a pick swap.
So, Brooklyn, it's a. It's going to be an A minus.
A minus.
Yeah. I think the 2 things that stop it being an A plus, because like really it is a pretty good haul they've got, is the fact that those picks are basically just replacing all the picks that they got from trading for Harden, which didn't work. And losing Kevin Durant sucks.
Yeah.
There's no way you can put it nicely. Like, you've just lost arguably the best player on the planet.
I have to say that, I mean, thanks to Danny Ainge, that trade goes down, in my opinion. I'm going to give it a B. I feel like if Danny Ainge was in that position, I feel like he probably would have done better. There's not much better to do, but I feel like it could have been better. It was a good trade, but that's my take on it. Next time, get DeAndre Ayton with it, and then maybe it's an A trade.
Well, that's the thing. Like, DeAndre Ayton's got like some sort of trade thing, so he'd have to agree to it.
Yeah. Well, let's head
Whereas
to
in
the
the
Suns.
if they'd done it, if they'd done it in the off season, he wouldn't have had that. So it's just like, get out of here, man.
That's why. Just harass him, and then maybe he'll say yes.
Yeah, who knows with that guy?
KD and
But yeah,
TJ Warren is next. What are we giving it?
I think I'm going to give it the same thing. I'm going to give it an A minus.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on A minus on that. I think that was, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good trade. I think the Suns are more of a threat with one of the best players in the world right now, but that bench is what's gonna be holding them from a championship.
It's just, I mean, the thing that I think about is like, you had this whole situation with Jay Crowder that's been happening all year because you wanted to start Cam Johnson. And now you've just like given up on him.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you've got Kevin Durant back. But like, so couldn't you have just gotten rid of Cam Johnson at the start of the year and like everything would have been hunky dory?
Well, they probably offered that originally.
And I don't like him losing Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is a good player.
Well, it was either him, Chris Paul, or DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, Chris Paul, get the fuck out.
Well, Chris Paul is also has probably no trade value at all.
Like, if they were like, hey, you can keep either Bridges or Chris Paul, they'd be like, hey, Chris, your bags are packed, buddy. They're waiting for you.
They probably asked for Mikal. That was probably like the deciding factor.
Yeah. Oh, of course. But, yeah, and like with his injury history recently, it's just a big gamble. Like, it could come good. They win the title. It's freaking A++. or it could be disaster zone and like they don't get out of the second round. Like this is one of the ones you're just gonna have to watch, I think.
It's definitely one of the ones you have to watch because it could go either way on that. Your next trade is Kem Birch for Jakob Pertl, and except Kem Birch gets you a first round pick in 2 seconds. And just so you do know, it's a 2024 first round pick that the Spurs just acquired from the Raptors.
Top 6 protected.
Top 6 protected, which I mean, I don't think they're gonna land in that range, but in my opinion,
I don't know.
I don't think the Raptors really needed that trade because they already have Precious and Siakam. So I mean,
Not
I guess
really
Siakam's
centers,
moving
though.
to the 4. You put Jakob at the 5, and then Precious off the bench. I'd assume.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Precious and Pascal are both 4s that are masquerading as 5s. They're not defenders. They're not rim protectors. That's been one of Toronto's biggest problems this year. Is they can switch everywhere on the perimeter, but as soon as you get through, like they haven't got an actual rim protector. So I think Pirtle helps them with that. He can facilitate the offense, and now you've got 3 points or 4 points really of attack. So you can run the play through Pascal, Pirtle, Van Vliet, or Scotty Barnes. I think it's a good pickup. Seems a little bit pricey.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like Birch is obviously just thrown in to match the salary. I don't think the Spurs give a crap about him.
Probably
it's
not.
The first rounder and the 2 seconds. I think it's fair for both teams, to be honest. So I think I'd give the Raptors probably a B. Like, just because I don't know where they're going with this team. They're like 6 games under 500 at the moment.
Damn.
So, like, I see Pirtle working, but, like, the rest of the team needs work. And for the Spurs, it's same thing, like a B plus. I mean, they got rid of Pirtle, who's on the expiring contract, and they got a first rounder back.
I was gonna go B on both of them. I think it was a solid trade for both sides. I think both sides got what they wanted out of the deal. The question is going to be: is Jakob actually going to make a difference to where in the future he stays, or is he just going to leave?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Pirtle really, I thought he was going to like a Warriors, a Nuggets, a team that's contending right now. So it was a bit weird to see him go to the Raptors. Would have loved him at the Kings.
You would have loved him at the Kings for sure.
Yeah, this is backup Domas. You do basically the same thing.
Next
well,
up,
not really, but
you got your Josh Hart trade for that one guy, Reddish.
Yes. So I think it ended up being like Josh Hart and a first round pick, 2024.
That one's protected. Not even on ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, here I got it here. So the full deal is, it's not even 2024. It's 2023. Oh. So New York get Josh Hart, Portland get. Josh Hart,
very good. But that first round pick, if that doesn't work out, that's a lot of picks. And besides, they're not really destroying the league with Josh Hart. So I mean, it could be a trade where Cam Reddish could end up being almost like a Josh Hart and being a replacement for him.
When I seen it, I thought it was a massive overpay. Like I would have done like Josh Hart and Cam Reddish nearly a straight swap, like tack on a second rounder with Reddish, and that's a fair deal in my opinion. He's on an expiring contract. He's a good player, but he's actually shooting sub 31% from 3. So he's not like a 3-and-D wing. And he's undersized to play the wing anyway. Yeah, I think it's like a D plus for the Knicks from me.
I went
And
C plus on the Knicks.
I just think it's a dud. Either way you look at it, like, especially if, like, say if Josh Hart doesn't re-sign with New York in the offseason, he just goes somewhere else in free agency, like,
Well, I think it's
giving
like
up a first rounder, or if it doesn't work, 4 second rounders for a role player, like,
I mean, the only reason I say it's a C plus is because of the morale boost with Jalen Brunson and all.
yeah, yeah, I guess I didn't factor that in, but
That's the only reason why I gave it a C plus. Otherwise, this would be like a D trade for me.
now for Portland, I think it's like it's an A. I think
Really?
they've obviously realized that like this season's not going anywhere, so they didn't need Josh Hart. They probably weren't going to re-sign him.
Yeah.
They get Cam Reddish to punt on, plus the first round pick. Yeah, I think it's a good deal for him.
I think, well, the only reason why this trade would be an A in my opinion is because of the fact of what they got out of Svi Mikhailuk. But they also double did it and all that stuff. But not even factoring that in, I think it's a B trade. I mean, it's better than what Josh Hart was doing for him for sure, but I felt like it was
I think
not that needed.
I think I'm just a lot higher on Cam Reddish than everybody else. So
You are definitely.
I still believe.
I agree it's a good trade. I just don't think it's that good of a trade.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Knicks continue where they're going, making the play-in or playoffs. I think they're actually looking at. Oh, excuse me, I nearly sneezed. Then they get the first rounder as well, which is, if you'd offer me a first rounder for Josh Hart, like, I'm taking that in a heartbeat. And you're giving me Cam Reddish, like, yeah, I think that's a win.
Yeah, and you ready for our next one?
Certainly.
The Lakers and picking up deloading.
This is one of the last ones we got, I think.
Yeah, this is in fact pretty much the
This
last
and
one.
Kyrie.
Second, and yeah, the second one being Kyrie.
Oh, we got the Plumlee one.
Oh yeah, we could cover. I think we all know that trade result though. That's the reason why I skipped over was the fact that I think both of us agree, A for Plumlee, like an F for that for the Hornets there.
I don't understand how Reggie Jackson's value has just suddenly dropped off the face of the earth. He's getting waived by the Hornets, for God's sakes. So he was like running that Clippers team last year.
Yeah. I mean I haven't watched a lot of Clippers games, so I don't know what happened, but something happened.
Anyway, where were we?
So
LA
LA gets
beat.
deloading Malik and Jared Vanderbilt. T-Wolves pick up Mike Conley, Nikhil Alexander-Walker in 3 seconds, and the Jazz pick up Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson. Oh wait, what the? Yeah, that is right, isn't it? Oh yeah, I got it right. I don't know why.
Sorry.
Damian Jones is the one I was getting confused about, and then 2027 first round pick from the Lakers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say F Jazz. Terrible trade. Yes, we have 60 million in cap. Who are we gonna sign? Absolutely nobody. First round pick for the Lakers and give up our entire core for the foreseeable future. Quite an L. I have no reason to like this trade.
I only really like it for the Lakers.
So what are you gonna give it?
I think for the Lakers, A minus.
A minus. You know what? I'm going to go higher on you than that. I think picking up D-Load, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt, I mean, I've watched them a ton. I think they're going to be a great fit around LeBron. I'm giving this an A-plus trade for the Lakers. This is the best trade here. Like that, they
The only reason I
genuinely
wouldn't,
committed highway robbery here.
the only reason I wouldn't is just because Malik and D'Lo are out of contract.
Yeah, but
So
it's the Lakers. They'll probably sign back.
but we did talk about before, like maybe D'Lo leaves free agent and they get Irving.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, I gotta fix my thing.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, he died. R.I.P. that man, Brock. So I'll continue speaking from the heart here. The T-Wolves picking up Mike Conley, Nikhil, and 3 seconds, and they give up deloading, and that's about it, really. That is an I would say probably an A tier trade, if not an A plus, almost there. But I feel like Mike Conley's old. That's the only reason why I'm going only an A. He's old. Rather had
The
deloading.
Timberwolves basically give up nothing in this trade.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the only
they
reason.
give up D'Lo, who they didn't like anyway.
Yeah, I think everyone's sorry for me on this Jazz trade. It's so bad.
So the Timberwolves, I'd probably give it an A,
Yeah,
maybe even an A plus.
that's what I
I
was
really like.
thinking. I like
I really like
liked it,
Conley.
but Mike Conley's old and overpaid.
Yeah, but still, like, they're not asking for like prime Mike Conley. They're just asking for exactly what he can do right now. Like, play off the ball, run some plays, organize this goddamn offense. Pretty much,
Yeah.
he's fine at doing.
And then, what's your opinion on that Jazz trade? That's the last one you have to do.
F.
Yeah.
Probably an F. I don't
know
like any part of
what we were doing.
like Jones is useless to use. Toscano Anderson's useless. Westbrook's going to be bought out. And then the pick that you get, so it's Lakers 2027 first rounder, top 4 protection, turns into a 2027 second rounder if not conveyed. So we're talking like 4 years down the line here. So LeBron's out of the league. AD's become a free agent and done something. Like, what happens if the Lakers really suck and you guys literally just get a second rounder?
That's probably what's going to happen.
And like, you guys have given up 5 or 4 players and 2 second rounders just to get a second rounder. Like, huh?
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Like, as we said earlier, like, I don't understand why you wouldn't have kept Vanderbilt. Arguably kept Alexander Walker. Like, I understand getting rid of Beasley because his value was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And like,
I knew we were losing Beasley, but the others did not make any sense.
Yeah, it's basically Danny Ainge going, yeah, I screwed everyone with the Gobert trade. I better make it up to some people.
All right, next
That's
one.
the way I see it. It's like him and the Wolves GM got together and he's like, yeah, man, I fleeced you so bad on that. Here, I'll give you these guys.
Damn. That is true. They did just pay him back.
Welcome to the league, buddy.
My God. So, next up, Kyrie Markeith for Spencer, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2029 first and 2 second round picks. And also, yeah, never mind, that's it.
I think it's a C for Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't think the Kyrie thing is going to work. He's out of contract. You got rid of Dinwiddie, who was actually playing well with Luka. Your best wing defender in Finney-Smith. Plus a pick. Like, Kyrie's probably just going to walk.
The only reason I didn't give it a C is mainly because of the business side of this. I think they did a good job getting some ticket sales this year. So it's a B minus for me, and it doesn't make sense for the future. It makes sense for the now, I guess. You have two isolation gods, but like we don't even know if that's gonna work. I'll give it a B
It's
minus
sort
because
of
I have a feeling that it could work, but I still don't think it's a good trade.
it's like middling for me. It's like if Kyrie re-signs, it goes up to like a B plus for me. Like, yeah, you've got Luka as second star, like an actual star. But like if Kyrie leaves in free agency, this is an F, like fat F.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That it drops down to an F if Kyrie leaves.
And then for Brooklyn, I mean, you can look deep into it, and there's probably a C for them as well.
I was thinking
Like,
the exact same thing because I don't think they're really gonna need any of the things from that trade, like any of them, except maybe the 2 seconds. The first is not gonna be that significant.
I mean, like Finney Smith will be good for him. He's still young. You know, you can maybe see what sort of offense he can give you because he's just been stuck in a role in Dallas.
Yeah.
Dinwiddie will probably just get flipped again. Like there was already talks of them trying to flip him.
Yep.
And like if you look at it from a big picture thing, like you lose Kyrie, which ends up in you losing Kevin Durant as well. Like, so there's nothing really good to take out of this trade. It's just we're just wringing our hands of this shit and starting again.
Yep. Pretty much. So I also want to say our final game probably for the stream ended. The Warriors did in fact won again.
Ugh.
12-point victory for them over Dallas. Dirk had over half of Dallas's points with 15.
Oh, that is a realistic simulation then.
Klay Thompson had 18 and Curry had 4. Harrison Barnes had the same amount of points. He got outscored by Draymond Green and Iguodala. Quite impressive performance from Steph Curry. 0 of 6 from 3, too.
Got to change the sliders.
For real. Nets B from Panthers. He's rating that trade higher than us. So, I believe that'll be it, 2K-wise.
Yeah, I don't see how you get a B for the Nets. Like, they didn't get anything out of it, really. Like, the first round is not till, like, 2029.
Literally.
Like, that'll be passed around numerous times before it actually comes time for it.
And, yeah, Luka's probably still going to be there. The Mavs are probably going to be even better, I'd assume. But, you know, things could happen. Things could change. But at this moment in time, I don't think the Nets benefited from that trade. They just kind of panicked. They ran out of time for the trade deadline.
They just went, oh, you want to get traded? Piss off.
Yeah, that's
like they had a better deal from LA. They just didn't want to send Kyrie to where he wanted to go. So
they didn't want Russell Westbrook. Dude, imagine if Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons teamed up. That'd been the best duo of all time.
Like LA was offering both of those first round picks that they had left.
Yeah.
So like there was better deals out there for the Nets. They didn't want to play Danny Ainge ball and help the Lakers.
That's literally it. And I mean, you can't blame them, I guess, but at the same time, it's stupid. They should have just done the smarter thing.
I mean, like if I was in the Nets situation, I would have gotten this all figured out in the off season, or when Kyrie come to me and goes, "I want to trade," go get effed, and we're playing this season through.
That's what I would have done. I would just play through because there's no point. They're the 5th seed. You know, the trades weren't even that good. I felt like you could have played through.
You might as well.
maybe and gotten
Get the
more value. I think his value is already at rock bottom.
get the boost of revenue from making the playoffs, then deal with it.
Yeah.
I know they don't need it, but
Especially
might
with
as well.
Nick Claxton having a good season too.
They basically just tanked their ticket sales for the rest of the year. It's like no one's coming to watch Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finney-Smith.
Don't forget my boy
I'm
Nick.
sorry.
Come on now.
Oh, and Bridges and Cam Johnson. Nobody's coming to watch
you
that.
are disrespecting Nick Claxton so hard.
I don't like that guy.
Damn. That sucks for you, but
Skinny-
he's good. And according
skinny
to
blocker.
NBA 2K, I think he's the highest overall of all of them.
Well, he's a higher overall than Bridges.
Yeah, he is actually. Bridges is
2K 's smoking
84 and
some.
Clax is an 85.
What the hell? Guy's an 85 but can't do anything except block or dunk.
Yes.
Okay.
In NBA 2K, you could shoot the 3.
What?
I've shot so many threes with that man. I've actually made threes with Ben Simmons too. I'm currently 75% in 2K with Ben Simmons 3-pointers.
Ronnie needs to share what he's been smoking then, because
Or maybe I'm
Mans
just
is a
good at the
fool.
game. Like, come on now.
yeah, you wish.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to verse, weren't we?
I'll whoop you any day of the week.
Any day of the week, really.
Yeah.
Really.
Give me the 93-94 Nuggets.
Really. You are going to
Eat
whoop
some
me
Abdul
any
Ralph.
day of the week. Yet you can't
Yeah.
even be available any day of the week. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can.
Alright, well, how about, I don't know, tomorrow?
Nah, I'm not available.
That's what I thought. Any day of the week. Any day of the week. Any day.
Any day that I'm available.
That's what I thought. The problem is you're
Yeah,
only
I'll pick
available
up.
2 times in a week. And we have to do a podcast on one of those.
You're just jealous.
No, I'm not. I like my life.
You are.
I like my
Do
life.
you?
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy my life.
Travis!
How dare you disrespect my life? I'm gonna beat your ass now.
I was impersonating your dad, sorry.
Oh. I'm still gonna do it. You're 5'9". How hard could it be?
Funny shit.
Once you grow a few inches, then you can try and beat me up. But until then, you're too short.
Yeah?
Too short.
Your mother.
Yeah, mother. I could destroy your kings. I could pick the Mavs or the Cavs. I'm good with both of them. Which one do you want to get a beating on?
I don't have 2K, so.
Yeah, we got the old one.
You'll have to come around and we'll play NBA 07 on my PS2. I'll whip
What
you.
happened to 2K22 on their Xbox?
Yeah, I got it. It's not installed.
Then just reinstall it. That's the only way I'm gonna beat you.
I don't know.
You're gonna have to do it. We said we were gonna do a special on that, and 5 people I think said yes.
0910. Orlando Magic. I'll whip you.
Well, I don't even know who's on that team.
Hito Turkoglu.
Oh, I'm not worried about no turtle glue.
Turkoglu.
I love calling it. Wait, 09, 010? Which year was
They
it?
might not even. He might not even be on that team.
It's not even
Maybe
here.
I'm thinking like.
It's literally
It's like-
not even here.
No, of course it's not. I'm just saying teams.
Turtle glue is not even he doesn't even have a team in the best team list.
I'll beat you. Yeah, he does. He's on the 0102 Kings.
Oh, my bad.
Comes off the bench.
Crazy. Who are you gonna beat me with then?
Oh. 06, 07 Rockets.
Who the hell is on that?
Yao and T-Mac.
You want to know something about that team? It's not here either.
See, 2K doesn't have any of the good teams, man. 05, 06 Philadelphia 76ers.
That's not here either.
That's a good team. That's like Iverson, Iguodala, Chris Webber.
I want Iguodala.
What about like the We Believe Warriors?
Why them?
Because then I got Monte Ellis, Baron Davis.
No, they're not here either.
Oh, this game sucks, man. 93-94 Nuggets it is.
You think you can beat me with Dikembe Mutombo, and that's it.
Who else on that team?
Muhammad Abdul Rauf, LaFonso Ellis. I could beat you with this team with the current day Mavs. Easy. You know, I could beat you with that Utah Jazz team that's like deconstructed beyond belief.
They got like the 2000 Trailblazers, the Jailblazers.
The Jailblazers, my favorite. Yeah, they're here.
I beat you with Sabonis' daddy.
It's Scottie Pippen.
You know, for some reason I thought he was dead. I don't know why.
So random.
Yeah. Then I was watching the Kings game the other day, and they were like showing him up in the stands. I'm like, huh. I had to Google it. Turns out he just had a heart attack. He didn't die.
That's
so good on you, Avitas, if you're listening.
If he's listening, like he's gonna listen to some random podcast with 10 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we're double digits.
They're
Nice.
double digits now. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah,
I'll beat you with the Jailblazers.
You're gonna beat me with the Jailblazers. I will beat you with the current.
Damon Stoudemire is gonna go off with 50.
I'll literally just beat you with that Utah Jazz team, like easy, because I played with that team for like years. I know how to shoot with Mike Conley and with shots that you probably wouldn't even imagine are hittable.
I bet you play with the shot meter, don't you?
Off or on?
No, you play with it on.
I play with it off.
You play with timing.
I play with layup timing.
Yeah, you suck.
I suck because I use layup. It takes more skill to use layup timing.
Real player percentage, brother.
Real player percent. Who are you? That takes no skill. You literally can time it early, late, or like perfect, and it won't matter.
Yeah, that's how you play. And then it's realistic.
How about you just be good at the game?
I'm so good at the game that I needed a challenge, so real player percentage.
You know they took that out in 2K23?
What, real player percentage?
Yeah, that's not even an option anymore.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious.
I ain't buying that shit ever again. I mean, I wasn't
going to. Suck?
No. Because I want my games to be realistic.
It's 2K. How realistic do you think it's going to get?
I want to actually work for my shots, not just, oh, I'm standing there fully guarded. Oh, I can green it because I've played this game so much.
Okay, that's not how it works anymore either.
That is how it works.
They turned the defense up so hard.
You play my player, a dude standing there with two guys on him. Oh, okay, just green it.
We can't talk about my player. That's not how it... My player's trash. I play now, buddy. They fixed that. My player, yeah, you could be 100% contested and greening crap. That's why I don't play it.
Rubbish. Pissed me off so much so that I haven't bought any 2K games.
That's why you should play now. That's the only good mode.
I only play that against bots.
I play that against everybody. All right. Well, I think that's about it. We should probably wrap this up. I'm gonna
I've
have
just been
so
rambling
much
for like the last
editing
half
to
hour.
do. I'm not ready to edit this. This is gonna be bad. But thanks.
Make sure you get my
everybody for watching.
Zendaya call out.
Oh yeah. Well, that is it for the Yank and the Skippy. That's right. I switched the order. Screw you.
It just didn't sound right at all.
It does not. You are totally right about that. Well, we are once again missing the tank. We'll see if he comes back. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't.
Get well soon.
Get well soon, brother. We miss you. We gotta make sure he comes back. You know, he's gotta get another episode, and he's only been in like what, one?
A couple. But now he's missed out on us ragging on his favorite player. So
Yeah, that's very true. So, we'll catch y'all later. Skippy, Yank are signing out. Tank is getting well. Love you.
Lotters.
Alright, and everyone, have a great night, day, or whatever time of day you're watching this or listening to this. Or whatever you're